All right, they should be able to see us and hear us. We are live. If you can't see us or hear us, you should say something in the chat. And if you can't say something in the chat and you can't see us and hear us, then we're just really kind of shit out of luck right now. But we are playing Vaesen tonight, continuing an adventure or mystery we started about a month ago, in which these fine people traveled to a place and some of them got eaten by snakes. But before we dive into the full summary, why don't we give everyone a chance to kind of plug whatever it is they got to plug and introduce your character. Joe, do you want to introduce your character when they eventually come on screen, or do we want to do it now? Do you have a preference?
We can do it when they come on screen. I guess
right.
it's more theatric.
Cool. And plus, if things go really horribly in the first 5 minutes, you could just be like, I don't really want to go on screen yet. I don't want to go on screen just yet.
Yeah.
It's fine. You guys got this.
I'm back.
Yeah.
They keep me to come on scene, and I decided I needed more donuts.
Yeah, in the belly of the Lindworm, everyone just runs into him. That's what it is. Like, oh, fancy meeting you here.
Mm-hmm.
But Dan, get started.
Dan with the Defenders of Kobold. I'm playing Rubetega, our officer, and at the moment, I am inches away from death myself. So we'll see how tonight goes. We'll see if I'm first in the stomach or last.
All right. And Gunner or Bert.
I'm Bert. I'm the host and primary GM of Steam, Steel, and Murder, playing Gunner Arrowwood tonight. He's pretty banged up, but he's alive and breathing for now. I think he has hit his heroics quotient, however, and is going to be taking a knee.
And Chuck.
Hey, Defenders of Kobold, we do stuff on the internet. I am playing Anders for now, who has a bug in his pocket named Franklin that he has to spit on once a day. I imagine I will probably survive this because Anders he's in it. He doesn't have long. This bug in his pocket that he has to spit on is going to kill him.
Yeah. Yep. And you got what's Defenders doing this week?
Oh crap! What are we doing? Wednesday we're doing pretty much, since it's Christmas week. Wednesday we're doing Spectaculars. Jeremy's running that. Tomorrow night on Notorious DMG we're doing Cyberpunk Red.
Yep. And
that's good. Saturday we'll be doing the continuation of the Music of the Spheres is Chaos on Goodman Games Official.
All right. Melissa.
Yes, Melissa with Adventures in Lollygagging. I am playing Sigrid, who is a priest who is broken, and she's mentally all there still. So she's fully aware of all of the physical suffering she's going through at the moment.
Okay. That's an interesting way of putting that. Speaking of mental suffering, Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm very sorry. Jeff wanted so badly to kill me. I was going to say last week, but then I realized it's just kind of like a bi-weekly thing. He wants to murder me.
It's a weekly thing now.
Yeah,
it is a weekly thing. Yeah,
different games.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's almost Christmas, and I think this time I'm just going to lean into it. I want Jeff to be happy on Christmas, so I'm going to do everything I can to let Caius die tonight.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
Don't do that. I like Caius. He's fun. Ish.
I'm doing that reverse psychology, man.
Ish. And don't you have a podcast or something to plug?
It's true. There is a Plewdcast, Plewd, Plewdcast. We just recorded a new one last week. We got another one coming soon.
All right. Right on. And then there's Joe. Joe, tell us about how your last character died.
I tried to confront a giant worm with my words, and it returned with its mouth.
Oh, that was great.
And that's where I am right now.
Yep. So Joe's got a new character. He re-rolled, and Joe's new character will come on screen in the game at some point when it seems like it makes sense. So yeah, we'll learn about that in a minute. And then as for us, I don't think as Lollygagger stuff, we have much going this week in terms of our games. But next Monday, you can catch us on our channel, twitch.tv/Lollygaggers, where we're playing Alien. We just had 2 character deaths pretty fabulously in that game. And so we're going to be introducing 2 new characters in that. So come check that out. And then Free League channel also doesn't really have much going on this week. This is it. This is, I think, the last game they have scheduled. But check back next week. I think we're going to be doing some more Twilight 2K on Tuesday, possibly. And then there's other things for Forbidden Lands with Chuck's game, and then Matt just started up Bitter Reach. So plenty of stuff next week, but not this week. So let's dive in and summarize where we've been. So from the beginning, you all were contacted via dreams by these two women, the Stromberg sisters, who were begging for help from anybody who had the site. They were using some sort of magic, and it kind of seemed to appeal to anybody who could potentially be tuned into magic, to the site, etc. And so you all got some weird dream and eventually found your way to Tanis, which is a very small town in a very forested, hilly valley that is out of the way. There's no railroad or anything that's through here, no major roads or anything like that, and so it was a bit of a hike getting here. There's like another relatively nearby village, but that one's not even that big either. It had some history apparently of there being like a dragon in the hills or something like that, and like there was history about like a bunch of like bears and the different fauna that were in the area, kind of migrating patterns had radically changed, etc. When you arrived, you pissed off the locals in the tavern. That didn't go well. And then you lied to the constable, which was quickly uncovered. You were trying to convince one of the people in the village that you all were sent from the church to investigate the disappearance of Father Mateo, who was a local priest who had recently arrived in Tanis to sort of build up this church, and he has gone missing. The townsfolk believe that the sisters were involved in this and were thus going to put them to death. But every time they tried to build the gallows, it would fall apart for different reasons. After a while, you all managed to talk to them and learn that they had made a deal with a Vaesen by the name of Sigrid, and you didn't really get them to tell you what kind of a Vaesen it was. You hiked up a hill until you found what was the former lair of Sigrid, and you found this large snake skin, and sort of intuited that at that point it was likely a lindworm. When you returned to town, you, after speaking with some of the locals, there were some more earthquakes and stuff that were going on, which makes no sense for the area, and so you started digging beneath the church, and you found some sort of ancient magical little pocket of earth beneath the graveyard, and you also found a lindworm, and that's where there was a negotiation at one point, sort of, kind of, where Sigrid said that, leave one or two of you and the rest of you can go. I can't remember. You all have to kind of clarify for this for me. Did you all see the eggs, or was it only Joe's character who saw the eggs?
I think we saw them.
Okay.
Maybe.
So the
I
other
don't remember. I was
Gunnar
unconscious.
saw them too.
Gunnar saw them. Okay. So as long as at least one of you saw them, it's all good. So you learned that apparently this lindworm had laid eggs and was defending kind of their brood, but they quickly, after the fight was kind of getting ugly for you and for the lindworm, but they scooped up these eggs and your poor doctor friend Jurgen and disappeared out of the lair. You all retreated back up, seriously wounded. Chuck ruined my fun by saving Caius.
I did. My bad. I apologize.
And but I think everybody else survived. So I think Gunnar went and contacted the constable, got a posse together. So there's a group of people who are under the impression that there is some kind of wild animal that is on the loose. That's about it. Other little things that there's, you've also learned that there's a competing group here. Like there's another group that was apparently also brought here from, or at least responded somewhat to the site, like the message that the sister sent out. I think Caius is I think thinks probably based upon his automatic writing that Father Mateo might be dead. I'm not sure if you confirmed it, but you think he's dead. And there's also a troll that is serving as a guide for a historian who doesn't realize that she's a troll, and they're kind of wandering around as well. So that's kind of like the big summary of the mystery. This is 4th episode, so there's a lot of stuff that's gone on at this point. So let's start it up. It's early morning hours, a.m. You all are at the church. A posse has formed. You've got the constable here. You got Captain Davidson, who you've You can tell me in a second, like, what is it you've actually told them. But you have there's a handful of folks here. Some of them got guns and rifles, and some of them have, knives and pitchforks and things like that. But all of you are pretty terribly wounded, I think. And you're missing Jurgen. So what's the plan for y'all?
Well, we ended last session with the constable and some men going down to find our missing person.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a handful of people who probably hung out up top, but the rest of them started digging down and going down deep into the, you showed them the way down to the bottom of the church and also through the graveyard. So they're off doing that. But what are you all doing?
I remember we talked briefly last time that I was hoping to see if I could catch Hildegard, to see if I could convince her to share any insight about what to do with a creature like this.
Okay.
And were any of us injured enough that they were going to die in the next hour or hours?
I think we solved all of that
everyone.
last session.
Yep.
It's just
Yeah.
a lot of us have conditions. Still.
Yeah, I think you probably all not only have conditions, but some of you will probably have injury effects as well that you're dealing with too. But I don't think anyone's on the verge of dying currently now.
I think my bleeding wound was taken care of.
Pretty
think
sure
we took
everyone
care of
has, because
Yeah.
the nun successfully healed one person.
Mm-hmm. But not Caius. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I
Okay.
miraculously healed Caius.
Okay, so it's super early. This is like late summer, early autumn. So you've got a little bit of time before dawn. Do you want to? You said so Caius, you want to try to go find Hildegard and Olaf and whatnot. Is that right?
That would be the hope, because my hope is that she'll know something about this. Like, if there's somebody in town who's likely to have some insight, it would seem like she would be the one.
Okay. Does anybody else want to go on that task?
I can go along.
Okay.
I know at one point we did talk about just going over to the jail and releasing the two sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've seen Captain Davidson take a handful of folk and actually go down into the earth. So you know that he's not on the playing field right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just release them and just leave town.
It's
Yeah,
actually not a bad idea. Although he does have some of our information now, assuming he comes out of there alive.
He definitely knows who Caius is.
yeah. And on top of that, this thing is bad enough on its own right, but now it's going to have more. It's going to have babies, and at least it's wounded now. I mean, I'm not, brave by any means, but like, I don't want more of those.
Unfortunately, someone should probably go with them because they probably can't see it.
Well, I guess there's two ways to look at this problem, really. There's the reason why we came here and what we should probably do. Like this hand has disappeared in the thing. So I got the two hands. But yeah, what we should probably do and the reason why we came here. We can take care of the reason why we came here.
But we're a little outclassed in that other department.
And we really are. I mean,
Perhaps it's not likely, but perhaps we could recruit the sisters to help.
Or they may know how we can put it to sleep or something. I mean, they were helping it, and it's discarded them now, which we can report to them too.
Yeah.
So maybe we go speak with our two different people and then round back up and see what we can do.
Okay.
That's fine. I'll go talk to the sisters.
The party, yay!
Okay. So Caius is going to Hildegard. Anders is going to the sisters. Who is joining those two different groups? Since
I'm going to the prison as well.
So Anders, Gunnar going to the prison.
Yeah.
Rubetega and Sigrid, do you have ideas where you want to go?
I think I spoke with Hildegard originally, so maybe I'll go that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're with Caius.
I'll
No
go to the
offense,
prison.
Sigrid's probably not the best choice for the troll.
No.
The troll actively
yeah.
disliked that you were
Religious. Yeah.
a member of
Okay.
the church.
Okay.
Yep.
You're a wonderful person. Obviously, it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the the inn where Hildegard and Olaf, as far as you know, are staying. When you arrive, the Caius and Rubetega, owner's there, kind of is making coffee, prepping breakfast. It's good. Maybe an hour and a half or so before you're going to expect the sun to come up. But he sees you come in, and you all are worse for wear, and he's kind of staring you up and down, like you know, he never really liked you all to begin with, but concerned nonetheless. But when you ask about Hildegard and Olaf, he confirms that they're staying there, but he doesn't really feel like I probably shouldn't go wake them up now. It's still early. Like, so how do you convince him to go get them now?
It may not surprise you to look at us, but the constable would verify for us, except he's already gathered a group to go deal with the issue. But there are terribly dangerous things out there. I spoke with Olaf recently about his intention to go out and about and look at things. I was hoping to try to convince him to maybe alter his path, or if I couldn't convince him, convince his guide, I think is the nice way to describe her. Because he seems like a terribly nice man, and I don't want him to wind up like me.
Or me.
Roll a manipulation test. Let's see if you're
Or me?
successful. See how this goes for
Yeah.
you.
Quiet, Jürgen.
All right. So fortunately, I can use my inspiration, and because I am a wordsmith, I can ignore my penalties, and I can still fail
Goodness.
all those dice, and I still fail.
Okay. All right. Do you want to push?
Are you able to push?
I am, but if I do, and then we run into something scary, I'm boned.
Don't worry, I'm already there.
But I feel like it's important, so I am going to try and push.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh man,
This is how it
I
starts.
can't believe I failed that.
This is how it starts. Okay.
One.
Reluctantly, he like lets out a big sigh. Fine, I'll go. And he trudges upstairs.
This guy is the most stalwart, won't take any of our shit ever guy.
Yeah, bad first impression, right? And so
Yeah.
he comes down a few minutes later, and there's somebody coming with him, but it doesn't look like Hildegard, and it doesn't look like Olaf. Instead, Joe, what does this person look like?
Oh.
Was Joe ready? I don't know. I just totally surprised Joe.
Are you ready to die?
So he looks like a little bit like the picture of the servant in the book. I imagine him having like a very nice dress coat, but the sleeves are like rolled back, and he's wearing like workers' gloves, and he's definitely got workers' pants on. So a little bit of a clash on his attire going on there.
Okay.
He's got big mutton chops, a balding head, just like in a patch down the middle, and it's kind of bushy around the sides, and a little bit elderly as well. And that's pretty much all of his what you see on him. Oh, he's also got a revolver, like very visibly tucked into his side there.
Okay. So the barkeep just sort of introduces, like, this is Olaf's manservant. And a few moments later, as you kind of are all staring off, down comes Hildegard as well. You don't see Olaf, but Hildegard's there, and she's kind of pulling on these big old this big old coat, and kind of flapping her hair back a little bit, tying it up into a big old bun. She looks like she just woke up as well. And she looks kind of exhausted as she's wiping the sleep from her eyes. She stares, she sees Caius, she sees Rubetega, she sees you all covered in blood. And she's like, what did you all do?
Well, we tried to do good, and it went terribly bad.
We found where the missing priest is. We also found...
With that, she just, like, a sneer comes up at the mention of the priest. She didn't care.
But we found something worse.
And
This might not be the best place to talk about it.
and so she'll flip a coin to the innkeep, ask for some privacy, but she says, "Don't worry, Bensly can stay. He's, and she just kind of points to her eye briefly, and you find a little corner of the inn. A few minutes later, you're brought like coffee, and yeah, she's. So what is it?
What was it? Lindworm?
I think I have this skin.
Yes,
Just
Lindworm.
show her the skin.
Okay.
And-
The skin's really big, so if you took like we'll say you took a small piece. Otherwise, it's like you're dragging like a big old blanket around. But yeah, you show the skin, and she's her eyes go wide. Little bit of concern comes over her face.
But wait, there's more. It's worse. There's some ancient place of power underneath the ground, and there were eggs there. This thing, if one's not bad enough, there are eggs. It's wounded. We really want to run away, but if this thing hatches those eggs, then there's lots of them, and it is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen, and I really don't want there to be more of them.
She turns to Bensly, so she turns over to you, Joe, and she says, you should inform Olaf that we'll be leaving this afternoon. Might want to hurry up and pack.
Right.
But she says she sort of goes into a little bit of an explanation, and she just says that makes sense. Magical place of power. Lindworm, that's how they propagate. They're not a sexual species so much. It's more of a finding this type of ground can sometimes create the opportunity to be able to create eggs. And then she kind of where was the lair again?
You might find it funny. It's under the church.
She kind of this rueful laugh, and then she thinks about it some more. It's like, more than likely, they're probably planning to use the town to feed the brood when they hatch. This town is fairly doomed at this point. All of us would probably be better served to hustle on out.
Oh.
Easier said than done.
Well, there's a good deal of the people that are going down after it. We did wound it fairly gravely, but
They have the worms have very potent healing properties. How long ago was your battle?
it's been there was a lot of bleeding and almost dying, but it's been a few hours.
Oh,
Hasn't been that long yet.
It is probably fully healed once more.
Oh,
Real?
Hypothetically, if someone was just completely foolish enough to want to help the people that are going down there, do you have any advice or knowledge?
Other than running away?
I mean, obviously running away is the smart choice, but if there was someone who's just an absolute fool.
Fool. If you're an absolute fool, hypothetically, I have heard rumors that one could be potentially lured to their death as opposed to killed outright. Any damage, anything you do to them, most likely they'll find some way to escape and heal. But even though they are resistant to fire, there's something about that resistance that can be counteracted, manipulated. If you were to, I've heard tales of hunters who would lure them through 3 separate fires, and on the 3rd fire, they would turn to ash, somehow not realizing that their protection from fire has somehow been removed.
That is a very difficult thing to arrange.
The Lindworm is a very difficult creature to defeat.
Any old fire would do?
And any old fire, as
3
far as
different.
I'm concerned. Yeah. I have never tried it myself. I try not to harm Vaesen, even a Lindworm.
That's
Well,
fair. I mean,
Do the eggs have to hatch at the place of power? Would it potentially? It ran away when it was wounded. Do the eggs have to hatch there? Is it possible it would need to return to that place of power?
More than likely, yes.
Okay, there's a limited pathway to and from. Probably. I mean, we haven't fully reviewed. but maybe there's our chance. There's a limited pathway, and it's going to want to come back. But how do we make it want to? I don't know. Okay, but that's the little bit I have.
And if the eggs hatch, they will hatch fairly large. Not as large as a grown lindworm, of course, but they themselves would probably be more than what you two could handle.
Of course.
So probably preventing them from hatching might be a good idea. If, again, you're foolish enough to take on the endeavor.
Yeah, we have yet to determine if we're that foolish yet.
I've read that it's possible that silver might have an effect, not so much on harming the lindworm, but if you were to, but perhaps you could use it in a way to create almost like a stasis to prevent the eggs from hatching.
Oh, because it did flinch from silver, but I shot it with a silver bullet and it didn't seem to do, it wasn't.
I don't think it actually harms the beast itself. It's just
right.
But it could be a way to prevent the eggs from hatching.
But that's likely why it disliked having silver in the presence if that interferes with its eggs. Okay. Okay. So if somebody was incredibly stupid, we have a couple of very loose ideas.
Let's see if we can pull some more threads together.
Okay.
Otherwise, maybe we'll be leaving town before you do.
We will. Bensly, we should leave. We'll have to make up some sort of ridiculous joke, maybe another story of a different creature in a different valley somewhere to get Olaf's mindlessness, curiosity, running rampant.
They have alligators up here. I don't know the town very well.
Yeah, and we're always looking for help.
She laughs.
I mean, if you want to go to a place where there's some recent stories, but it's already been dealt with, back near my hometown, there was an outbreak of werewolves, but it's fine.
Silver is very good against werewolves. Yes,
it was.
Yeah, that's where I had it left over from.
Well, I bid the two of you goodbye. It's been nice knowing you. Enjoy what little time you have left. I have packing to do.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I said, in theory, we live at the castle. If you ever wanted to come by, maybe we'll be there. Maybe it's your castle now.
I'll be happy to visit those who undertake the new ownership once you are gone. Yes. She laughs, claps you both on the shoulder, and gets up to leave. Bensly, you can do what you want. Leave, stay. It's up to you.
Nice knowing you all, says Bensly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time to roll a new character. No. He'd stop for a bit and be like, you said people already were going down to deal with it? Like there are people on their way now.
They're gathering. I don't know if people have gone down yet. This was a bit of
rushed.
We were not prepared, and we were hopeful that maybe Hildegard would be willing to share some wisdom with us, and she was kind enough to do so.
Yeah. She knows a bit, but I don't think she has too much affiliation with any of the people that might be in danger here.
That's fair. That's very understandable. It's absolutely the smart thing to do to run away. That is absolutely the smart thing to do.
Yeah, we don't really have much affiliation here either, other than we just kind of save people if we can. Maybe.
My wife tells me I'm a fool every day.
Most of the time, she's right.
Okay, so while you all are still talking and deciding, we'll switch over then. We'll take a look at the jail. You guys, so this is Gunnar, Anders, and Sigrid as you all wander through the town square a bit. As you're doing so, You notice that the gallows seem to be in good condition. But as you're walking through, it's very dark. One of you's probably carrying a lantern. There's a couple street lanterns and stuff that have been lit. You can feel the earth shake again, just very ever so slightly, but it kind of shifts and throws you around a little bit. You don't really see anybody specifically in the town square, but you get the sense that like someone had just passed through and like walked down it. So there's other people who are up. But you head over to the jail where Captain Davidson lives. The door is the outer door is actually open. It's not open, but unlocked. So you're able to get in pretty easily. He lived alone as far as you knew. But it does seem like the door going back to the cell is actually locked, however.
Can I search around this area to see if I can find keys?
Yeah, so you go fumbling around, go through his things. You check his desk. You don't find any. You imagine he might have them on him.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, can I try and pick the lock?
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you got any? You got lockpicks and stuff on you?
I do.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Go ahead and roll that agility test. I believe it is.
Is it a particular skill?
I think it's
just agility. Yeah.
You get the bonus from using the lockpicks.
Right. Here. So can I just click on lockpicks and it give me the roll?
I don't think that will. You might have to put the lockpicks in the
Bonus
pop-up.
+1.
Yeah.
Oh, it says pick locks with stealth is the
stealth.
effect.
Okay, roll stealth then.
Yeah.
All right.
This is worse for me. I have no stealth. Oh, wow. I forgot all my physical conditions too. Oof. This is not going to be good.
Yeah, give it a try.
Yeah.
You and your
Beyond
one
me.
dice.
All
So
right.
as you sit there and you're trying to pick, doing your best, it's been a long day and like the exhaustion is probably overtaking you. A little bit of short
Oh,
temperedness.
this is my nail file.
This lock just won't open. Other ideas?
Can I look over the place and see where a likely hiding spot would be? Like find his desk and kind of say, if I were going to hide a set of keys.
Yeah, I mean, Anders he looked around and he couldn't. You would guess that if he leaves the door open to his home, that he probably takes the keys with him. That would probably be the thing. It's probably just a key too.
True.
It's
Yeah,
just and it's not a fancy door, by the way. This is just a wooden door. So this is something that probably could be knocked down. You remember there was a window in the room, but it was boarded up as well into the sister's room.
So, Jeff, do you always get to roll at least one dice?
Yes,
Okay.
I think, but let's say that.
Okay.
I think there's like something with negative dice, but I always forget the rules, so we'll just say one
Okay.
dice.
Because I can just try to shoulder the door open.
Roll force.
When I see Sigrid getting ready to do that, I might give her a hand.
Okay, take a +1.
All right. This is going to be interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to push that?
No, I can't.
Still flopping around from extreme tiredness.
So what's gonna happen?
I think I'm technically broken. I don't know if I got stabilized enough, but
You don't have any help?
not doing well.
We can pick up his desk and just ram his desk into it.
What I was gonna say is, what we'll do is we'll say you break it down. It's ugly. You try a couple times where it's just you and Andrew's just throwing your shoulders into it, and it's just not working. You pick up, a chair or a piece of furniture and kind of do a little heave ho, and eventually you knock it down. But clearly, like
It's broken.
he's gonna know that someone busted this door down. Like this isn't like it's obvious. So there's no way of hiding that the fact that you just broke this door down. But yeah, you're able to do so, and you're able to get into the room pretty easily. And you wake them up. They're kind of waking up, and they see you, and they see your state, which is just terrible. And immediately like, you found, I presume, found Ingrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Regrettably.
She's not always a bad one, but it's just a pity. She's lived for a very long time up at the hills, and too many people have not been leaving her alone of late, it seems.
Well,
And
she's
she
here in
has eggs.
town. Yeah.
Small detail.
Yeah.
I was
Under the church.
I was. They kind of look at each other, kind of a little dumbfounded, like we had no idea.
Also, she said that she was done with you two.
What do you mean done?
Like, she discarded the two of you.
I see. Well, if that's the case, we're done with her as well. Then we've gotten the healing skills that we needed, and there's.
Speaking of healing skills, can I get some of that?
Okay.
We're gonna break you out, just so you know,
All right.
because the constables are off chasing your old friend.
All right. So if you're looking for healing from her, let me double check. So are you actually broken?
I still haven't marked my character sheet that I'm broken.
Okay. Don't forget that. Okay, so if it's broken that you're looking to heal, you
Because I
wouldn't.
think what we
Yeah.
did last week was just the wound stuff.
Okay. All right. So you wouldn't even have been able to roll the force test technically, but whatever, it's fine. Okay. So if she wants to, if you just want her to remove broken, we can probably do that. So,
If we get any extras, that'd be cool too.
one sec. Let me get my little roll dice thing here. Whoops. Sorry. Wrong button. All right. Let's see.
Hey, I didn't roll that.
Yeah, sorry. I think I just have your token selected, I think. One success. You are no longer broken.
Thanks.
Okay. Don't forget, by the way, that broken is like after you've gotten, like, it's when you get your three things.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So you're no longer broken. That's the best she can do. She has no equipment or anything, so she just did what she could. But you did get the sense that it was perhaps like not necessarily the type of healing that maybe Jurgen would have done, where he's kind of patching up. There's something a little bit more. Oh my God, our doorbell's ringing. There's somebody even like almost magical in some way. Yeah. Okay. So they look at the door that you just broke, and
The one
they
that
look at
rang?
you. Is this a jailbreak? The kind of meek one's kind of excited, like, ooh. But the other one looks a little concerned.
Yeah, we gotta figure it out. We gotta figure out something. We gotta get you out.
Okay.
We gotta get us out here. She ate one of our friends.
I'm so very sorry. That my condolences. Can't help but feel this is partly all our fault.
You know, I hadn't thought about that until you mentioned it. But now that you put it out there in the universe, I might agree with you.
This is a true statement you have made here.
Yeah,
Partly, we didn't eat your friend,
that's true.
and we did warn you not to go poking around with her.
And we didn't know if. Hey, that's neither here nor there at the moment. Yeah. Do you know of any way we could stop her or chase her off or, scramble those eggs?
In terms of, go ahead, Gunnar.
Send her back into a sleep, perhaps. She could not have been this active for very long.
I don't. We don't know how to combat her. She never gave those types of secrets away. But we do know that whenever we were by the tree, she was very, and we were bringing offerings and such. She would never like us to bring silver. She would very much recoil. She lashed out at us once before, so that's all we know, is that she has some kind of aversion silver in some way for whatever reason. Gold, she very much enjoyed. I'm not sure what she did with it, but jewels,
Well, we
artifacts.
did
Even.
find her tree out there in the hills, and it was packed with gold.
Yes.
And perhaps a more disturbing question. As there are eggs, is there perhaps a male of the species around as well?
I have no idea. And honestly, I don't know if she is even a she. We're not certain. We just called her a grid and presumed. But I'm afraid I don't know enough about the creatures. I'm sorry. But we will help you. You have helped us, and we will. If your plan is to confront her, then we will help with that, if that is your choice.
I am still not sure if it's our choice, but our group will come to consensus as a group. So I guess we need to get you out.
We would be appreciative, and we are very much in your debt for this. Very, very much. Whatever we can do to help you. Today or
Perhaps move the entire village.
Yeah, that might.
I fear that the people in the village will not think much of what my sister and I have to say. The people outside of the village who live within the forest, the hills, are more likely to listen to us. But not the people who live in these homes. They, after all, are going to hang us later today.
These people outside the village more likely to heed your words. Does that perhaps mean that there are some amongst them that may know more about the lindworm?
I don't think any of them know of the lindworm specifically. I think there's just rumor and folktale, really. As far as I know, we're the only ones alive who, until you all, who had lived after a meeting with Igrid. Others have gone missing in the past, and have been written off as hunting accidents, people getting lost in the woods. And no one has ever told a story specifically of meeting her.
There are no traditions, no stories of slayers of worms?
No, there are stories of... We have heard stories perhaps of a coven of witches who have hid within the hills hundreds of years ago, but I have never heard of those tales ever intersecting with a lindworm, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I don't have any ideas, Gunner. I really think cutting and running.
I fear that I'm with you on this one. I can think of nothing better.
So the door we broke down was the door to their cell, right? They're now free.
Yeah, they're free.
Okay. Well, let's go find our friends.
Okay. And we'll say, just for convenience sake, that you all kind of meet up in the town square at this point. Each of the groups concluding their basic task. And light is kind of starting to come up at this point. You can see in the distance the dawn is coming, and you're in the town square. A couple people are moving about at this point. You have the sisters with you. What do you want to do?
Well, we at least want to have a rudimentary disguise for them, so they're not. You just throw cloaks over them, hats, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough.
Yeah, I guess the idea is we're not going to stay long. Okay.
All right.
Quick discussion about what we found, the three fires thing, perhaps the aversion to silver.
Yeah. So
possibly returning back to the underground.
So there's a limited number of pathways. It doesn't like silver. We could, if we want to create a path for it to follow, we take what little bit of silver we have and we put it in the paths we don't want it to go down to funnel it, right? And I've got an idea for at least how to do 2 different sources of fire at once. We have lamp oil, right? And I have my camera, and that has flash powder, which is also flammable. We can have both of those go off at once. 2 sources of fire, 2 fires at once, right there. Then we just need a third, throw a torch underneath it or something. I've got 2 out of 3. That's not bad, right? And we've got an idea for how to funnel it. That's not bad. We can do this.
We do have our hurricane lamps.
Yeah.
But sadly, none of us are in the condition to do this.
Well, you know, there would be brave people ahead of us while we lay these things down, and then we would run away. And
I do think maybe we have sent the brave people to their death already.
and so I don't want that to be wasted, and it would be very nice if it doesn't have to come to that. But I think we can do this.
And what do we
And
do
I'd
about
be
the
holding my
echoes?
hurricane lamp at that. So you said a hurricane lamp is your third source?
I mean,
Yeah.
so long as it's 3 different fires. Like I've got an idea of how to cheat doing 2 at once. Because it would be 2 different fires, but you could ignite them both at the same time.
It still requires burying the beast in its lair. It's taken its eggs and delved deep. We'd have to follow it down. And
Yeah.
and just looking around, none of us are in the condition to climb.
Speculation is to return.
It's going to want to come back. We know where it wants to come back to. Its eggs aren't, or at least according to what Hildegard said, the eggs probably won't hatch unless she brings them back to that site. So she has a very strong reason to want to come back. So we know where she wants to go. We know she has a limited number of pathways to get there. And we know that if we can make her go through 3 fires on the way there.
Well,
So do
given
we-
that she is injured too, do you believe she would try to do this now, or do you think she would try and heal first?
Well, she's already healed.
Yeah, we spoke with
Oh.
Hildegard, and she speculated that she's fully healed by now.
So she's probably not scared at all. She probably ran away just long enough to heal. She's probably totally healthy now and absolutely not afraid at all. And that
Is there a
somehow
doctor in town that we could maybe spend today as just a healing day?
The one who came. You already brought her. She would be at the church at this point. Because you brought
we
her
could-
over and she tried to help folks, remember?
Okay, because we could spend the whole day doing treatments,
Mm-hmm.
which could heal a total of 3 conditions and possibly more if there are more successes. So we could be a little more prepared for tonight, next night.
I don't
if
know
we
that's
wanted to.
much time.
Yeah, that's my fear is that it, according to what Hildegard said, it's probably already healed by now. The people who are going down may not even be able to see it. And if she's already healed and as powerful as she is, they're
My writer friend, though fiction seems to be your stock in trade, there is the difference between being foolishly brave and being prepared. If we fail at this, there will be no second chance.
If she's already returned, there is no chance.
Do we know that? Do the eggs instantly hatch? Do they take time to form?
But I don't know how we're going to draw her away from that place if she's able to get. I
So
don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just.
we all go find a bunch of like silver candelabras.
Mm.
We hold them out between us and it. Make a little silver barrier, and then you set up your fires. We throw the silver at it and run away, and let it chase after us through the 3 fires.
Yeah, I get that.
That
It's
sounds
just
like suicide.
a lot of us at this point, if we have to make a roll, we're going to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said the words. It doesn't mean I
Yeah.
believe in them.
Just.
We could just leave.
How does healing work again? Like, because I'm able to heal. What
So if you're looking,
like
okay,
I always forget the time frame that I'm
there,
able to do it.
there's a couple different ways to heal. Like there's once a day, someone could say, I want to do a scene and I can heal.
Hmm.
But everyone's already kind of done that. And they also need a lot more healing than that. And that's where you do like a day long healing. So you spend an entire day just recuperating. And that's what Melissa was suggesting, like spending the entire day recuperating somebody who has like a medicine test. You do a test and then you can get like a bunch of, you can get a bunch of your stuff back. So like that's really the only way to do it, to commit that specific time to do a lot of healing at once. Otherwise it's basically just like you can use your memento, and you can do the scene thing, but there's a limitation on how many times you can do that.
If we want to try and just throw a fourth option, I don't know, another bad plan out here. If we want to commit to a day, we could try and have everybody come back. It's even possible at this point. And try to come back with a better plan after a day. But if we find out that it's impossible to bring everybody back,
And
probably
I would be curious about the eggs that they said they saw. Could I do like a learning test to see if I can get like a time frame on how much longer we think before those eggs will hatch?
Yeah, go ahead. You can roll lore.
Okay, that'd be learning.
Yeah, learning. I'm sorry. I don't know why I had it Forbidden Lands in my head. Okay. So if you're specifically looking for like a time frame, judging from the size description that they gave you, and from the little, some books you might have gleaned some knowledge from, or maybe just conversations with Hildegard or some of her friends or something like that, it's probably close. Like, birthing is probably going to be relatively quick. It, whether or not it's imminent within the next few minutes or the next few hours, but certainly within the next, day or two or three, something like that. It's hard to say specifically, but it's not like it's going to take like a week or two. It's
Right.
relatively imminent.
Okay. Not a lot of time.
Yeah. Like spending a day healing, like it's a risk. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Who knows?
we could all have some materials prepared to, like torches to throw at it. Each of those would potentially count as fire. Perhaps throw lanterns at it. I don't know if Molotovs are a thing in this game.
But dynamite's a thing.
Dynamite's a thing. Does that count as fire or not, though?
Well, if we use it in conjunction with oil.
I mean, we just soak some rags in oil, get some strong bottles of spirits, and
I'm thinking dynamite, or at least some contraption so that we don't have to be near it, but we could still
Dynamite could be dangerous.
introduce it to fire.
On top of us.
yeah.
We could risk the building or risk all the people that would go to the
Yeah.
building. So,
Well,
I mean-
if we're under the building, it's bad for us too. I mean,
Fair
it's a
point.
quick way to make sure that we're dead. And it too, probably, maybe.
So
Jeff, did you
go ahead.
say that there was another way in through like under the graves?
yeah, there's two. There were two ways down that you saw, and you do also know that like,
The townsfolk were working on digging it out.
yeah, you know that there was going to be one of the things that Father Mateo apparently wanted to do was build some sort of fountain, and so he apparently was spending time like drilling and digging for that reason.
Yeah.
So so at least two, possibly three ways down. I'm gonna also say, like, while you're talking, at a certain point, you all are gonna hear Sister Emily kind of calling out to you from a distance. She'll be calling, Miss Sigrid, Mr. Caius. And you can see her coming. So if you want to kind of hide the sisters, you probably could.
Yeah, maybe we
Yeah.
just tell them to head out of town for a little bit and stay on the outskirts. And if we come look for them, we will. And if we don't, then
It will also, if we don't come back, that they will know what has happened. So
and they can go
Okay.
to the castle.
They'll describe like a hiding place, like a small cave or something that they can hide out in, and like you could track them down later if necessary. But again, they're willing to help if you need the help, but obviously it's difficult to do that considering their current
Around the
status.
town. Yeah.
But when
About the castle and
yeah,
Yes.
they can report our deaths.
sure.
Yes, Miss Emily, what can we do for
So
you?
when you see her, like she's crying, like just covered in all sorts of tears and snot, and she's just completely beside herself. They came back with just so many bones, just and so many. Just they found his things. They found Father Mateo's things, and she's like holding in her hands what looks like a torn up like raiment of some kind, and it's his. And they found his ring, and she holds up his ring, and they found the weird demonic treasures of some kind. Clearly, the sisters were planning something awful down there. They were going to collapse the church. That's what what Captain Davidson thinks.
Did they find the beast that was down there?
No, there was nothing. It smelled like it was sulfuric. Captain Davidson said, "It's just awful."
For now,
I'll give her a hug and
vacate
just
it.
tell her
They
I'm
have
so
one.
sorry.
Okay. When she holds up her stuff,
I'm curious about that ring.
and you look at the ring, you see a little engraving that you've seen before. This little eye, this kind of strange, almost like hieroglyphic like eye, almost like the eye of Horus in a way, just kind of carved around on an eye.
Was this the father's ring?
Oh yes, he wore it all the time. Yes, that's how we know it has to be him. He's gone. Those wretched sisters, they fed on him. They killed him and then they fed on him.
He had this ring on him. Yeah.
Yes, it was there in the piles. There's at least we'll have to sift through it. The doctor is
How long has the father been here?
not a year yet. No,
Okay.
He was so the church was in such shambles, and he spent so much time just putting it back together, and he was so much wanting to beautify it and make it better, to proper tiles, and he spent so much time in the crypt trying to ensure the foundation was intact. And the fountain, he wanted the fountain so badly. He would spend all day digging away, and that poor kind man. Just
Was he by chance anywhere before here?
I'm sure he had an assignment with the church, just like you all. You all are given assignments from time to time, are you not?
Did he get any credentials? Did you have any credentials?
Oh yes, he had proper sealed and signed paperwork. Everything was in order. Captain Davidson verified it and everything.
Did he ever talk to you about what he had seen in doing all of his digging down there?
Oh, he just said it was just dark caves, and he was trying to tap into the stream beneath the hill, and just he was struggling. He said,
Would seem likely that he had come across some of the same things that we came across under there.
I assure you, Miss Sigrid, if he had found the bones of poor innocent victims of these cannibalistic, devilish sisters, I can assure you he would have said something.
It would appear, because we had seen the fountain went down into that area. So yeah.
Was the fountain fed from the spring?
He hadn't quite completed it. That was the problem. He kept trying to I don't understand the engineering, but he was trying to dig and feed the water up into the fountain. I don't know how it works, but he had all sorts of digging equipment. You saw them, Sigrid. They were in the in the shed. All sorts of things, and yes, he just. Sometimes I would come by to visit him with lunch, and he wouldn't even be here, and I would have to shout down the hall, "Father Mateo, oh Father Mateo," and she just breaks down the curse.
I'm so sorry. It
Thank
sounds
you.
like he was just the most wonderful man.
He really was. He really was.
Yeah.
Is this ring symbol familiar to me?
That's a good idea. That's a good question. I mean, roll a learning test.
All right.
Okay. Yes. You probably don't. I mean, with only one success, you don't know a ton. But I would say you would be able to at the very least identify the order. It's an order that they call themselves the Eyes of God. They are a religious. They are a religious order of some kind, some kind of extremist group. But that's probably I guess the extent of what you would know with only one success.
Are they like intentionally secretive? Are they the type? Would I know that like they're the type that maybe have like a very public front, but do like this weird Vaesen stuff on the back end? Or
With one success, you would know that they are. I would say they are some. They have probably intertwined with various Vaesen stories that either you or Hildegard experienced. To what their motives are, you wouldn't know, but you would know that they've been intertwined before. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering if it's like if that's like something that a typical person could know that organization exists.
No, by you know, I would say the typical person would just think that they're members of the church. You specifically know that there's some kind of secretive group within the subgroup, something like that, with other motives beyond just kind of the standard religious doctrine.
Okay.
Their public face is simply the church.
Exactly.
Rather than, yeah.
Right. That's what I was trying to. Okay.
I get what you're getting after.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if I can direct Emily back to, why don't you put those things back and plans, start making some plans for services and those types of things. This has been a very distressing day for you.
But we can't even bury the bodies in the graveyard because it's collapsing out from under us.
We're going to need to figure out what we should do with the monster.
Hang those sisters is what we need to do. We are a cursed town, and the sooner we're done with them, the better off we'll be.
I think there may be a little over connecting of what happened with the sisters and with this.
I think
they ate Father Mateo.
That might be, but right now there's a very brave man. That captain is going down into the belly of the beast. And do you know who he looks to for strength? You. He needs you praying for them right now.
Me?
That's what he needs you to do. And so I hope you'll do that for him.
I will. Of course I will. They have returned, though. Like I said, they...
Probably call off the search for now.
I don't know if they're going back down or not. They were quite alarmed at the discovery of the bones and other things. Strange.
Sadly, this may not be over yet. And the strength that the town will need from you is a different kind of strength.
It'll be over when we hang those horrible, wretched women. She hasn't noticed, obviously, because you guys you got them away before she got a chance.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue trying to redirect her back to the church. Caius is absolutely right.
Okay. Will you
definitely
walk
need
with me,
all of the
Miss Sigrid? Would you walk with
back
me
to the church?
And Mr. Caius,
Absolutely.
please. I'm sure that I'm sure that the presence of the two of you will also go a long way in helping Captain Davidson to decide a course of action here.
Oh, we'll all accompany you. If you give us just a brief moment here, we were in the middle of a discussion. We will all come with you.
I'm so sorry. I've lost my manners. How could I possibly? Of course, I'm very sorry. And she steps a few feet away, and you just hear her.
Yep. So get everyone to huddle up a little and say, look, if the officer and his men have come out of there alive, we have no time. It will be moments before they see the escape of the prisoners, and he will come looking for us first. So, though I am loath to say it, it seems we must put this triple fire plan into motion now, as there will be no day to rest.
And Sigrid would also whisper, we could also act like we went to talk to them and found them already gone.
But he's already caught more than one of us in a lie.
I don't feel comfortable trying to lie to that man. In fact, he didn't say he would shoot me, but he kind of had his hand on his pistol when he was talking to me, and he said what would happen if I lied again, even though I didn't lie. And he basically threatened to shoot me. I'm sorry.
It was an inferred shooting.
Yeah.
God, what's wrong with me? I'm talking about going down into like a tunnel with a giant worm, and I'm scared of men shooting.
You sound very brave.
No.
We could start running now.
So I'm just going to start leading Sister Emily in a prayer
And so
to try to get her to stop running.
you're gonna see stumbling out into the town square at this point. You're gonna see like good old Wilford Brimley. That's Olaf the historian looks like. Just kind of stumbles out. He's kind of putting suspenders on, and he's fumbling with this big old gun, this like big old blunderbuss. Like, I heard someone's gonna be fighting a dragon. No one's gonna leave me out of it. And you see Hildegard's like walking up behind him, like, oh my gosh, this is not happening. This is not happening.
The more the merrier.
This is great news.
Yes, and he's like, I am a hell of a gunsmith. Whoa, 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 whoa. And it goes off and just kind of fires a shot up, and everyone has to duck momentarily. Ugh, I have waited my whole life to see a real creature of lore and myth, and I shall not be sidelined for this. Hildegard, don't you dare try and keep me out of this, and you either, Bensly.
Of course not, sir.
This is great news.
Wouldn't dream of it.
We were looking for one of us who had the nerve to do what needs to be done, but all of us were found lacking. I think you might be our savior in this.
Me? Normally, I prefer to be a third-party observer in the stories that I collect, but if heroism is needed, then so be it. I shall step into the shoes of a legendary hero. Yes. And Hildegard's behind him, just like.
We have heard through ancient tales that there's one specific way to slay this dragon.
Yeah, indeed. How is that?
You have to, and it's a bit hokey pokey magical kind of thing. Lure the dragon through 3 separate fires, and then it turns to ash and dies.
That is absolutely absurd. What kind of lunatic told you that story?
Well, you see, it's all about the poetry, really, in most stories. Wouldn't you agree? Usually, the very thing that's kind of like the heart of a creature's strength also tends to be its undoing. If the creature is immune to flame, does it not make sense that in some way that can be twisted against it? Classic storytelling.
Couldn't we just shoot it?
I got to tell you, we already went up against it. That's why we're so injured, and our friend Caius here shot it, and the bullet bounced off of its skin like, throwing a potato at the side of a barn.
About a bullet bounced off of its skin, you say?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't lose your nerve.
That's why we have the fire plan. The fire plan is going to be fantastic.
He pulls out a little pocket.
Oh God.
Ugh. his nerve is definitely starting to lower. Someone wants to try to manipulate him to stay. Go ahead.
I would.
don't want to. I
I'll
don't
step
want-
in.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll step in and
Actually,
say, like,
we do have to get.
I'm
going.
sure what he meant by bounce off is that it was hard to hit, and they probably hit like a nearby solid surface, that not its skin.
It did pierce the skin. The beast is just massive. What might be a mortal wound to a man on such a creature is comparatively slight.
And you have a blunderbuss there. Perhaps the force of that gun alone would be enough.
His
I got
spine.
2 successes.
Yeah, his spine's starting to strengthen. Yes. He probably didn't even hit him at all. Are you even good with a gun, sir? You don't look like the sort.
Don't know really.
Yes, I'm sure that's it. I hear, however, I have many an award in riflery, and I have gone hunting on several occasions, sometimes successfully even.
I love this old man. I don't want him to die.
But if work needs to be done here, I think we are the crew to do it. You all look a little worse for wear. Don't worry. I'm here now, and Hildegard. He turns around. Hildegard? Hildegard? She's missing. Well, Bensly at least. Yes, Bensly, come. Yes. Okay. So
When I grow up, I'm going to be just like you.
Well, I am honored. I am honored. Very, very, very kind of you to say. And he almost drops the gun once more, and then he puts it back up onto his shoulder, and he's ready to go.
Oh no!
Thank goodness
good.
that we
He's
all came here to speak with you directly from the church.
Ooh. Sort of were the battles to be had in the church.
It's near the church, in fact.
Well, let us go. He starts marching forward, looks back at the rest of you.
Off we go.
Yeah.
You'll come.
Nice.
Okay.
Of course.
He's going to get someone killed, I'll tell you that. Okay.
So just in conversation as we let him go forward a little and say, we likely have one shot at this. If we go in and claim the bravery to go after our friend that they likely were not able to find, we could probably get past them this one time. So we need to have everything on us that we'll need.
Perhaps he can provide some cover for us, since we came from the church to get him.
All right, so we have lanterns with oil. I've got flashlight. I could potentially take some of my riding kit, and I don't know if I have anything good to pack the flash powder in. I've got plenty of books and papers.
Tar pitch.
I've got the cooking kit. I don't know that it would have any.
I imagine if there was construction going on at the church, they might have buckets of tar because it was used as a sealant.
Probably, if they were working on repairs, they probably have some.
Got to be
Sitting
three
there
separate
somewhere.
kinds of fire, just three separate fires.
Three different fires. I was just trying to think of like a way to quickly do two at once.
Yeah.
Why not three at once?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I didn't get that far. I couldn't think of how to do a third at once. But, throwing a torch or just having a third one. I don't think it has to be three different types.
No,
just
that's
needs-
correct. Yeah, that's correct. It's just three like separately created fires.
Yeah.
So it,
I guess the other point of clarification, does it actually have to move over them, or can they be like thrown on it?
As far
Exposed to it.
as far as Hildegard described it, if they move through three different fires, once they reach that third fire, they turn to ash themselves.
Okay, so I guess we just make sure the fires are on the ground.
yeah, I mean, we set off two fires using oil and flash powder. And then as it's coming at us, we throw the lamp down in front of us.
And then torches or something.
We just have the storm lantern lit, throw it down with enough force to break it open and spill the oil out.
So each of us should have a fire source, so that if it does manage to attack us, if we can manage to throw the fire before it, our sacrifice won't be in vain.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Torches would be easy. Everybody could probably have a torch.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of us have hurricane lamps, but torches
Yeah.
probably.
Okay.
And don't group up.
Stand in a single file line, 6 feet distance.
So, who still has silver?
I don't
I don't.
think it was you.
I have a
and
silver
Gunnar.
knife. Yeah.
I've got a couple silver bullets. I think we might have one more silver knife.
Did Sigrid? Didn't you have that? Yeah.
I do. I don't want to get anywhere close to it. But
Well, no, but before it comes to us, what I'm saying is like we could potentially, it doesn't like it. It seems to, if we want to lead in a certain direction, we could even potentially, if we want to be sneaky and we know the path that we want it to follow us on, what if we even like buried a little bit of silver in a couple of key spots so that as it's going along, it just kind of doesn't want to go there.
You
I
can
do-
also
I
search
do wanna-
the church.
I do want to clarify something just because I don't want you all to get the wrong idea of it. Like the silver thing didn't necessarily have an effect on it. It just seemed
Mhm.
pissed off by it, right? Like
Right.
when it felt it or saw it.
was
You
it
know what I
more
mean?
of like if we put the egg in a silver box, it
Something
would
like
stop
that.
the egg from hatching?
Yeah, that was the theory. Yeah.
Yeah, I just mean to say like something that would be that little. We know it doesn't like it. It's averse to it. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but it's just. I don't know.
I don't
Well,
How
Well,
big were the eggs?
Right, 3-word game, I believe.
About
3-word game.
it's what?
Yeah.
About the size of an alien egg, you know, like from Alien. No, we'll say a couple feet tall.
So
Hmm.
after we kill this, we have to destroy the eggs. But
Yeah, I was
let's
trying to
kill
think
this
of
first. I mean,
A silver box,
Yeah,
like
they're
what would be
tiny,
big enough?
Twitch there. Sorry about that.
we could just take our silver knives and just stab the eggs repeatedly.
Yeah, I'm assuming if the eggs aren't in that weird place, like
That's true.
we just. Yeah.
Let's not get the cart before the
True.
horse.
Don't crack your eggs before the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindworm first, egg second.
Okay.
All right, let's go down in the tunnel and do something stupid.
So we'll say you get back to the church, and you can see that a lot of the posse at this point is starting to disperse, and they're heading back to their homes, and they're kind of going past you, and they're disgusted. Like, yeah, they're kind of saying sort of the same thing that Sister Emily says. Like, I know those two sisters since I was a boy, and I never would have thought they would do something like this. And like, oh, that poor father. Like, that's poor father. You know, as they're walking past.
Grab one of their arms.
Mhm.
Did you find our friend? A lot of passion behind it.
No bodies, just some bones. They've been gnawed at, and some other strange things. Probably something that belonged to the church just kind of maybe fell through the cracks or something. Some little odds and ends and things.
Then he's still down there. We've got to go after him.
We've went to get a little more help, and we're gonna go back in, I think.
We searched the cavern thoroughly. There's no one there. The animal probably scampered away. There's no reason the animal would come back now. Clearly rooted it out of its den. I think
We need to do
we've right
everything
scared it
we
away.
can to try to find our friend, though.
We could
I'm
perhaps
sorry,
follow
but
the trail.
I feel like your friend is probably dead.
But you found no body.
We found bones of other bodies, so ipso facto ergo such and such probably going to become bones at some point.
But maybe we can save him and give him a proper burial, and that is oh so important to me.
Right, and when that happens, and if you need someone to help you dig the grave, I'll be glad to do so. Otherwise, I was woken up very early this morning to go down into a cave, and I found the bones of probably people I used to know. I'm going to go and do the only logical thing. I'm going to go get a drink. So, good luck. So
Fair.
little group starts wandering away. Everyone hasn't gone or anything, but there's just some groups. Inside the church, you can see that the captain is going. They're not wrong. Like there's a couple things on top of the table, like these little weird treasures and things that he doesn't look like he's going through anymore. It looks like they just kind of plopped him. There's a couple groups of people talking here and there, but he's there. Sister Emily's there. What do you want to do?
Just head down. Like, I mean, I guess look at the weird trinkets they found. See if anything
Don't worry
stands
about
out.
Okay. All right. You only take a look at the trinkets, and you start looking through them. A lot of it is just, again, like kind of pieces of gold and jewels and stuff like that. There is one thing that kind of looks a little different. You see this. Most everything is kind of jewelry. Like it's not in the greatest of condition. Some of it's dented, scraped, scratched, etc. But there's this one kind of curved horn, like that looks to be out of like antlers or some kind. Has like these small little threads and a hole in it here and there, almost as if it's meant to be blown. Yeah. So who's looking at stuff? Who's actually perusing this?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, you pick it up.
Yeah.
Kind of go ahead and roll a learning test there,
Okay.
Anders.
This is great because I get to ignore my 2 mental conditions. There we go. All right, 2.
Yeah, you look around and you can see that there's these different runes and stuff that have been carved along it, and kind of get the feeling that this isn't just any old piece of trash here. This kind of bears a resemblance to certain items of power that the society had like cataloged in the past that
Okay.
lended aid to stuff. So this, if possible, might not be a bad idea to try to grab this at some point and take it back to the.
Is there anyone else in the church?
Yeah, there's a handful of folks here. If you want to try to grab it now, just roll a stealth test. Otherwise, you can try to do something later if you want.
I might try and do something later. See if the church clears out a little more.
Okay.
Yeah, I will point it out to the group and like, hey, this is possibly one of those objects of power that I've read about in the library. Like, before we're done with this place, presuming we survive, we need to take this.
So Captain Davidson comes up to y'all and kind of debriefs you again, kind of goes through everything he saw, and like the guy who's been with you, Olaf, kind of leans over to one of you. Have we not told the man that there's a dragon that we're about to fight? Is he not?
Oh
he not
no.
aware?
He simply knows there is
only
some beast down there.
Yeah, telling someone there's a dragon, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Well, for some maybe, but not for some.
I-
Some of us would.
Absolutely.
Waiting our whole lives for such an occasion.
Yeah.
But for folks who have a whole town to consider, sometimes it's better to just let them know enough of what's going on so that they don't inadvertently cause a panic.
So Captain Davis will come up to you all, and he'll explain everything he found. Didn't find Jurgen, unfortunately. He's kind of got a dark, grim look on his face, and it looks like we've got maybe about I don't know, like 5, 6 other folks we've got 5 other skulls in addition to the one that we assume is Father Mateo, and we've had some missing folks here over the past couple of years, and I don't know, I just got this feeling that this might be them, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just gonna go make some rounds, talk to some folk, let them know about this, what we found here, and then I gotta check in on the sisters, and we got that grim business to do later today. But appreciate your help in all this. It looks like whatever creature was nesting down there is clear and gone, and we'll probably go ahead and fill up some holes and such at a different time. Maybe brick some stuff up, mortar it up, make sure none of the whatever creature this was doesn't come on back. But I'll tell you what, it'd be kindness to me if you just made sure that say a prayer or something for Mr. Mateo, Father Mateo there, and just just keep an eye on Miss Emily here. But
We went to bring
Absolutely.
Olaf here. He's a bit of an expert on creatures, so we're hoping maybe he can help us find some manner to find our friend.
if you want to go down there, I'm not going to stop you. But it's
We understand the risk.
okay.
We're-
Well, I'll check back in with y'all later then. And then he starts moseying on out.
To gather him up post haste.
So what's the plan? We going?
I'm hoping that maybe my little slim bit of cover here of saying that we went to get Olaf might cover us for our
Jailbreak.
involvement with the sisters.
Sure.
Maybe. If he believes that that's just where we've been.
Okay.
And let's go die in a cave. So maybe it doesn't matter anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make torches as we had planned, and
Yeah.
each take one.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So you make up some torches. There's a couple different ways down. Remember, there's the way that you went before, which is just to sort of drop down that center hole beneath the church. There was the graves that you could potentially, and then there was the hole by where he was drilling the fountain. All of those are potential ways
Pick
down.
the one that requires the least amount.
The least physical activity.
I'll say,
Yes.
I'll say, if you set up a rope somewhere, it's fine. Like I won't force a roll for this one.
Okay. That's
Okay.
good.
And do you see, as everyone's kind of clearing out, you see Hildegard comes up, kind of catches up. She's got this big old axe with her, and she's looking at you all when she says this. Not Olaf, like, you all are gonna owe me one.
Noted.
Yeah.
And then she's like, kind of swings the axe around a little bit, and it's like, all right, okay. So you can go back down the way you came. You can. So again, it's sort of up to you. I mean, nowhere. I think probably the two ways that make the most sense are beneath the church or the drill site. The graves are a little bit more soggy and hard to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
imagine
fine
there's
going the
rope,
way we did
which,
before.
I mean, if they probably came up and down from there already, I imagine they probably put rope in there. But
Is there any odor to the snake skin? Like, does the snake skin smell like the pungent odor that's in the area?
Oh, that you have? No.
Okay.
no.
Okay. I had a random thought, but
No,
Okay.
it's pretty kind of sterile.
old and dry. Okay.
All right. So as you go to start kind of climbing down a bit, you tie something up, you drop on down. I'll go ahead and switch us over onto the map, and you can kind of tell me, because when you get
Last
down
map.
there initially, you don't see anything. Like you hop down into the cave. If you want to hop back over, I'll put you on the map there. Bensly, gotta get used to that name.
So is it
But all of you kind of,
I've got a few different holes here.
so all of you, I mean, you can freely explore if you want, but let me go ahead and put us on.
that's weird.
I'll give you global
Giving me an
illumination.
error trying to load it.
All right, you should be able to see it now, I think. And I'll switch over. So
Oh, it looks like I got signed out of Forge for some reason.
that's weird.
Oops.
Slacker.
Okay, so like you can freely move around, but as you do, you notice no signs of the creature. Like you go up and you can climb up and you can see that there's various signs of like acid here and there, and you find that there's a small tunnel that seems to go towards the direction in which Gunnar and no, it was not Gunnar. It was Anders and Jurgen that had fallen into, like on the east. You can kind of head that way, and you also could tell that, like, as you get over towards the southwest side, over on the ledge where the eggs originally were, you start looking up and you can see that there's like a vague hole, like as if it was being drilled down in here, and you would probably start doing some basic math. You think that might be the fountain, might just kind of drop directly down onto here. And so maybe he just dropped down right on top of the lidworm at some point. Yeah.
Do we know which one of these holes the worm had gone down when it left from here?
You had seen, a couple of you had seen it go out of that hole down there on the south side that I just pinged.
Okay.
I thought perhaps, I don't know if it'd be possible or not, maybe we could try and collapse some of these other tunnels while we're milling about, so at least it's obvious if it's coming through one of them, or maybe we encourage it to go through another one.
Yeah, I mean, start picking up some large stones and tossing them in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way we might narrow down its entry or make it obvious which way it's coming from.
Okay. Were you doing any kind of prep or anything on the, like with the fires and such? I wasn't really sure about that.
Yeah, so we've got lanterns. I'll use some papers and what that I have to basically roll the equivalent of like crude flash powder. Not really bombs, but it won't be much. But it is at least fire.
Okay.
And I do have liquor with me, so I can do the whole cloth liquor.
That's
fire
not a bad
thing.
idea. I've got a cooking kit we can snitch some supplies from, possibly.
I have a bottle of liquor too.
Okay.
What are we wanting to surround each hole with like 3 rings of fire? Like maybe make oil outlines around them or something?
It's not a bad idea just to have that ready. If we pick one that we most want them to come to, that would be nice.
Or if we had enough oil.
Is there a way to draw?
Thing, and then...
Yeah, I don't know if you all have permissions or not, but on the left-hand side, you might see some menu buttons on Foundry. One of them should look like a pencil.
Oh.
Someone wrote hi up here, and then somebody's drawing circles down. So.
Freehand. So what if we did like a ring of oil, ring of oil, ring of oil, and then a line through them?
But then
light
does
it
that
there.
make that
one fire?
one large fire?
Yeah, I think that would be just one large fire, but
Yeah.
it might draw it out if that's where it is.
Yeah, let it come out, and then, I mean, we're all gonna have to cluster up.
Well, and this isn't where it disappeared at.
Yeah, I think it was
disappeared.
down this
Yeah.
over
the
here,
south
wasn't it?
one.
Right where you
Yeah.
yeah, right where you pinged right there is where it went down.
I was just drawing around this one to
Okay.
give an example.
So we're gonna try to collapse some of the holes, and then have the one that it would come out of with at least one ring of fire to at least get one of the 3 out of the way quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is at least one. Yeah.
And we
I,
could do something like that around each of them too. One up here, one down there, and just have one line that we light to circle them each.
Well, the problem is if we have one line that we like. Oh, so you're saying we do one, yeah, and
Just-
that would count for the first fire no matter what, and that's if it comes out.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just stand here and yell for it and call it,
Yeah.
a snake or a
Snaky.
tadpole that.
I know a good taunt.
Wait.
We're
Right, Yelena?
lining this place with silver. You better come now, or your eggs will never hatch.
Yell it
That's
out, see what happens.
that would probably piss it off. Shoot. Okay, well, let's make sure we're all prepped before we taunt it.
I have my hurricane lamp. I will throw it in its way.
I want to make a Molotov cocktail out of my alcohol if I can.
I will watch what you're doing and learn from what you're doing and do the same.
Okay.
Oh god. Oh god.
It's great fun. We did this all the time in finishing school.
Wait, what?
Like of hitting with.
That's a good way to-
All right, so this is what we'll do. I'm trying to get some fire stuff. So let's say you got 3 little things of fire. Where are you looking to like have them? So I just put like 3 little tiles. Just ping where you're looking to have them, so I have an idea of like what the
Right
plan.
there.
Like our initial oil fires.
Okay, so
That
Yep.
one right
Yeah.
there.
One on the hole that it went down.
Yeah.
and one over here. Okay.
So that way, when it comes out of any of those holes, we can start it, and it'll be
Okay.
first fire down, no matter what hole.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we got a line of oil connecting each one of those holes to us, so we can light it at all 3 of them at the same time.
Makes
What's
sense.
that little thing that's off on the upper right?
What
Is
do you
that
mean?
a little hallway that we haven't?
That goes towards the graveyard. So the graveyard drop off. So like there's a couple different ways you could have came into the map depending on which way you went down in the
Okay.
church.
I'm just seeing if it's possible that it could come that way.
To come, who knows? It also could just create a brand new borough. Who knows?
Good. Yep.
Yeah. Well, it could also be in Detroit by now, for all we know.
That's true.
So, okay. So, I'll say this: situate yourselves where you want to, and then I'll have Caius roll that taunt, and we'll see what happens.
So I'm not saying it'll help, but I have 2 silver bullets. I'm willing to bury one. If we want one that we would prefer, I'm willing to bury a silver bullet at the 2 that would be our least preferred. I don't know that it will make a difference, but which one do we think we want it to come up out of?
I don't know if we have. I would prefer if maybe we were all over here, because this gives us a retreat path if we head back towards the grave. It's a funnel it will have to follow us to.
Okay.
So if we're all,
So if we're all situated over there, then the one that's furthest away is likely to our benefit.
yeah.
Okay. So I'll put one of my last silver bullets up at the top one and one of my last silver bullets down at the bottom one for what good it may or may not do.
We just gotta be weary of the acid spit that can hit a whole bunch of people. Also,
Yes. Oh man, we should. Are there like on the picture here? It looks almost like crude tables and chairs.
It's like some of it's like collapsed, like totems and things like that.
Is there anything that we could potentially like have ready to flip up like a table as almost a shield to prevent some acid splatter?
Sure, we can say for cover or something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
I would really like to not get burned alive.
Okay. Look at all these red lines. This is crazy.
Were
my
these
God.
things movable?
Ping? I'm sorry, ping it again? Those are massive tablets of stone that would require a force test to move.
Yeah.
What's up with these tablets? Did we ever investigate these?
Yeah, it's hard
Why would we do that?
hard to tell. You take a
I
look
think
at them
as
and
soon as we walked over that way, we saw the creature.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Can we take a peek?
I think Anders especially would know. This is like a major find. Take the Linworm out of the equation, and if you were to document this find and start to catalog some of the materials in here, it would probably be a fairly big boon for the university if it was under Anders' name. There's quite significant amount of study here from a real world perspective historically, but also from the secret society perspective too, since this is a magical place of power. So
Yeah. Well,
Assuming we survive, and
Okay.
it also survives,
okay.
take them back, and I can study them in my new priesthood.
and also that we can get out of here now that we help the sisters escape.
All right, I'm gonna assume everyone's in the position that they want to be in.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
dear.
It's so Caius, explain to me how you were going to taunt to see if you could lure this creature out of.
I've got an idea for the basics of it. Sigrid, I have an offer for you. You're going to come up here and face justice for our friends, or else we will line this entire place with silver and your children will never be born.
Okay. Okay. Roll a manipulation test. Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Okay. And thank goodness for those God bless it. It's a lot of dice for one success.
Push.
Basically, I can swap and then ignore penalties.
Do you want to push?
No, I can't. I would break myself if I did.
You sure you don't want to push?
I mean, look, I want to give you every opportunity to kill me. I do.
I should have dealt. There should be cards there out for everybody. Did y'all get cards?
Yep.
All right. So let's
Yes.
get this set up. Oh boy, y'all are gonna. This is for real, huh?
Yeah.
That's like-
Draw and redeem some channel points. We got a 6.
Well,
Okay.
really a mistake.
That's for me. That's clearly for me.
Oh, and a push it.
Nice. Okay. So Doggo Combat State. All right.
Thanks, Snow Dogs and Rowan.
Wow,
Okay.
Thank you.
Anders, what you got for your number?
10.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Bensly.
Do you have
7.
to push?
Caius.
I got 6.
6. Okay. Gunner.
9.
All right. Oh boy. Oh no, not again, guys. Rubetega.
4.
Okay. There we go. Sigrid.
2.
Okay.
I'm not the one you want going, really.
Well, I
But,
mean,
you know.
I think the one you don't want going first is this
The
potential
Lindworm.
creature.
So Caius has another 6, and Caius has a free push.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be me. That's it. They can easily go to,
Yeah,
True.
we could save that for another roll.
Sorry, I'm just getting this set up. Okay, there we go. And then I've got cards for. I'm gonna have the 2 NPCs just go ahead and act on the same initiative, so that'll be on 3.
I'll be right back.
All right. So, guys, do you get up nice and close to the hole when you shout down it? And let's see, you've got. So I would say the combination of the two. So you have 2 successes. Do you want to get up close and shout it down?
no.
You sure? Okay. All right. So the you'll see the creature. So like you'll see like you guys are waiting around for a bit. Like you shout down, and it's a kind of a little while. It's like a good 5, 10, 15 minutes. Feel like maybe it didn't do anything. You know, you shout again, this time with a little less voice cracking. And at a certain point, all of you start to feel the entire cavern begin to shake, and you can see little bits of sand and dirt start to collapse from above you. And moments later, emerging out of the southern hole, you see this creature slithering, coming back up, and looking out, completely in fire. Nope, but at the same time is also utterly unaffected by it. And so they're just this massive creature, just head first, comes out, coils up a bit, flames covering it completely, having no effect whatsoever on it. And it looks out at you all, and it recognizes some of you, and it says, "Come back for seconds, have you?" And I figure we start initiative now. And so
Eek.
it gets to go first with a 1.
Of course.
I gave you all the cards first, and then it drew. So it's gonna move up to the first person it sees, and that's gonna be Bensly. I think I'm gonna kill 2 of Joe's characters with the same creature.
Or Olaf.
Oh, I think I have them backwards. I think I have something wrong. Yeah, I have the names all messed up on the combat sheet. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so all right, so it's gonna come up. It's gonna move right up to Bensly. Bensly, you're there like a good servant protecting the person that you're serving, and it's going to attack with how many dice do I get? I get like a lot. It's 12 dice.
Yeah, brag.
All right. So on the attack, that's gonna be 2 successes. Do you have any armor? Okay, so you go ahead and you take 4 points of damage.
Oh.
As it comes right up, because the base damage.
Am I able to parry or anything?
Oh yeah. You can do that. Yeah, you can do your reaction. So roll your. Do you
I'd
have?
say,
I'm assuming you all have weapons out and stuff. So like, if you want to, you can roll your combat.
It's close combat.
Yep.
I believe if you have a
Okay.
weapon, you get added to the roll as well. Is that, or is it just close combat?
Yeah, like if you
It's a
use
close combat attack,
fisticuffs
yeah.
alone, it's force. But if you use a weapon, it's
Do you have a weapon out there?
I have a revolver. So would it be a force test then?
Yeah, I would say if you're trying, you're not going to be able to parry unless you have a melee weapon out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
So,
Okay.
What I'll say is though is that you're kind of behind that rock there. We'll treat that like cover. So I'll give you a couple. Say roll 4 dice, 4d6s as like cover. So it's basically your armor roll.
Okay. Just 46.
Yeah, and if you get any successes, that'll reduce the damage you take.
All right.
All right, you've got 1 success, so that means you take 3 damage. As this
Sweet.
thing comes up, slithers forward, rears back, and then head vertically coming down on top of Bensly, it just crunches over top of them, and that is end of its turn. And it will be Sigrid's turn next. What do you want to do?
All right, so it's moved a little bit out of the initial fire. So now I want to try to throw my Molotov.
Okay, go ahead.
So would
and
you say that I
roll-
need to move closer to do that?
No, I would say just roll a ranged combat attack. We'll say.
Ugh. All right.
If that's fair.
This is
Sorry, I'm
not.
just fixing the overlay here a little
Uh-oh. No.
bit. Okay. So we're gonna say that that it'll land. It'll land kind of right around in the general vicinity. Bensly and Olaf, I'm gonna ask to make agility tests to see whether or not they kind of got caught up in the explosion of this Molotov. So Bensly, go ahead and roll agility. Okay. And then
Oh no. Welcome to the party.
let me go ahead and roll Olaf's agility. Okay.
Yay.
So Olaf, this tumbling Wilford Brimley, tumbles out of the way, and then I'm gonna say Bensly, take a point of damage as a small fire has begun to erupt or is kind of start to coat some of the
broken?
walls.
Sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh no!
Okay. Nice. Then it's
That's
gonna
fine.
be okay. Go ahead.
Your critical injury for that one?
For fire, I don't think so.
Wow.
I'm pretty actually, I'll double check. Somebody else can double check if you don't mind while we keep going. But
I'll
I
look it up.
think fire you don't roll. All right. So next is going to be Olaf's turn. I know it says generic man. That's just my icon for generic man. So Olaf is going to first of all have to roll a fear test because he is facing this thing for the first time. And this is also a man who doesn't have the sight. And so as he dives out of the way of fire and he looks over and he sees his manservant, Bensly, nearly get completely eaten in one shot, he's going to... And I'm going to like negative modify him a bit because of what like his first impression is his manservant friend getting bitten in half.
Don't worry, sir. Everything is fine.
Bensley? And so here we go. So
Just another day on the job,
okay.
sir.
And so he's immediately going to turn and run. So he's no. He's gonna faint. No, this is a fainting moment. Yeah. So you're gonna and comically he's gonna slap against the wall, like get a little scar in his face and fall down onto the ground. And that is poor young Olaf's turn. Hildegard will go next. What did you all want Hildegard to do? Did you fill her in on a plan to do something?
I
mean,
would say
he
so.
told- he
Yeah.
told us the plan basically.
Okay.
Fire, Hildegard, fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. She'll. Let's see. All right. So she'll spout some kind of troll talk. You know, she'll have some sort of guttural communication. These words will pop out, calling it in its entire brood like just mindless husks, and she'll chuck a hand axe at it, and then she'll move away towards one of the other fires, kind of trying to lure it towards the fire. All right, so then that'll be for her. I think it's 6 die. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the push button. It's a misclick on my part. So 6 die. That's a miss. Okay. So then, after that, it's going to be Rubetega's turn.
Okay. Wow. This is going just as well as we expected it would. Just as quickly. I was thinking I might try and throw my torch at it, but there's not a concept of like a held action in this, is there?
I mean, you could. I mean, I don't see why you can't just delay if you wanted to go later in the turn. I think you can always. Don't forget, you can always like switch cards at the beginning of a round. You'd be like, "Hey, you want to go here? I'll go here." There's always that option.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for it to move closer before I try to throw at it, but if somebody else wants to try and move first, that's maybe closer.
Okay.
I'd be willing to trade.
All right, if you want to, I mean, I'll say just for this round, like next round, we'll say do trading, but like we'll just say you can delay and then just call out when you want to go next. Okay.
Okay.
All right. It gets to go next. It's going to slither past Bensly, and it's
Through
gonna.
the fire?
Oh yeah, through the fire.
Ooh.
And it's going to come up because it's going to recognize Caius's voice. And it's gonna start to move up the side of that little ledge, look over at you, and say,
I'm going to eat all of your friends first and save you for dessert.
Why?
and then it's gonna chomp down on Anders.
Oh no.
So
No.
technically, it has to because it can't. Actually, it's not in the right zone for it, so it's got to attack you. So it's gonna go after Anders then.
I'll try. I've got my knife out. I'm
Okay.
gonna try and defend myself on this too.
Sounds good. 4 attacks. Go ahead and roll.
Gosh.
Or 4 successes as it chomps down on Anders. So if you've got your weapon out, yeah, just roll close combat. You can push it if you
Nope.
want.
If I push it, I'm gonna go to broken
Oh,
because
yeah.
I've only got 2 points left with 4 damage.
It's actually going to be doing 6 damage to you.
Yeah, I'm broken either
Okay.
way.
So it's going to do 6 damage. Go ahead and roll critical injury. As Bensly is now in fire, burning in fire. And then we're going to say Caius. Okay.
Oh, 4 rounds.
So
-2 to learning.
Caius, you watch as it dips down over top of Anders. Anders tries to move, and what happens is the jaw clamps down, and you can see Anders' head get caught in the teeth and just crunch. His eye kind of bulge slightly, and when he releases the saliva covering him entirely, his face and his whole head is now mouse-shapen in some way. Okay.
I'll go ahead and go probably now, I suppose.
Yeah.
If that's acceptable.
Yeah, I will say you have to lure it into fires. So like I feel like you're gonna have to still get it across one that's already kind of going, a fire that's going. So
I was trying to maybe use my torch in this case.
I think
And
if you use your torch and like throw it on the ground and then lure it to you, I think I would count it. I think if you're just gonna throw it and have it crack against it, that might be
No.
Okay.
I'm going because this like little cave backwards here, I was thinking maybe I'll put my torch and then back behind it and try to lure him towards me.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, let's do that.
Especially since he says he's gonna kill all of Caius' friends, and I'm the next closest.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. So I don't think there's anything you got to roll. I think you're good if you're just moving back and dropping.
Moving and then placing my torch between us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I couldn't find anything on fire causing critical injury.
Okay.
So
I know that's the case in Mutineer Zero and like some other games. Like if you take damage by fire, you don't roll a critical injury. So
yeah.
Caius, it's your turn.
Make more fire, guys.
So did Rubetega already set a third fire, like kind of to the right of me on the screen?
You dropped it in the tunnel, right? Right, Rubetega?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping he'll come after me into the tunnel. But...
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh my god. Just okay. No, Caius probably is not this. I just don't know what to do. But yeah, so he's got one already on him. So he's currently on, or it's currently on fire, right?
Yeah, so I'm crediting you with the first one that came up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then Sigrid kind of just threw her fire, like, kind of haphazardly, and it kind of got hit a second time. So I'm giving you credit for 2, but it needs a third.
All right. I'm going to run away from it, basically. But as I do, I'm going to intentionally kind of open up, like I had the paper rolled up full of the flash powder, and just a little bit away from it. Basically, as I run away from it, leave a trail of the flash powder behind me.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
And then run towards Sigrid, so that way we've got a decent chance of whether it goes towards Sigrid or goes towards Rubetega. There's a chance of it going through something.
Okay. All right.
Kind of try to cover both angles.
All right. And you're gonna leave Anders here. Just want to make sure.
I don't blame you.
Just remember, he's the one who saved you last time.
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe it's time for Caius to return the favor.
Apparently not. Apparently that's not how Caius works.
He's a horrible person.
Okay, so then that's your turn. Bensly, you're broken. You could shout. I'll let you crawl if you want. I'll say you can crawl out of the fire at the very least. I'm not going to be a jerk about it.
I think I'll do that, yeah.
Okay, but if you want to shout something or anything like that, you can do that too. Poor Joe. This combat with this Lenore has just not been chill.
Oh man, that's so rough.
Bad. I feel he was there as first person.
Yeah. I'm just gonna move and be like, "Are you all right, sir?"
and he's just like, you can see he's got blood on his face from where he banged his head as he fainted.
I'm gonna crawl towards him.
Yeah, he doesn't look to be in good shape. Close that down. All right. But yeah, you can tell he doesn't look to be in great shape, but he doesn't look like he's dying or anything. He just looks completely flushed, or completely pale, no blood in his face whatsoever, but like there's blood on his face instead.
Probably mine.
No, it's his own. He fell down, banged his head as he fell, and it's just him. But yeah, okay. All right. So then, after Bensly, Gunner, you're up.
Okay. How far can I move?
You should be able to move one zone, I think. It might be 2. Boy, it's been so long since I looked up these rules.
I think one zone is your fast.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of gone off so that I can't see it on the map, but I know where it went.
Yeah.
So Gunner's going to come down, and he's going to get out his matches, and he's going to light his Molotov cocktail. And then as he does this, he's going to start chanting in kind of a very dirge-like voice, and he starts off with "Praise no day till it's ended," and he lights his Molotov, and he's just like marching forward with a very determined look on his face.
Okay.
I don't think I can do anything more than just move. So
okay. All right. Then it's gonna end on Anders. Again, you can crawl if you want. Got your...
I'm just gonna take a little nap there.
Okay. All right.
Want to move out of that potential fire?
Caius, did you move yourself? Caius, you're muted.
Oh, I see. I had switched over to the pencil thing because I was going to draw some stupid stuff. That's why
yeah,
it didn't let me.
Okay. Okay, so then it's gonna hear Gunnar chanting like this strange stuff, and it's just going to turn its attention, and like it said, it's going to eat all of these others, and it's going to start moving in the direction of Gunnar. So it's gonna fast action move next to Gunnar and Hildegard. It will rear up.
So my intention here is self-sacrifice. I'm going to immolate myself as it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
it eats me.
Damn. Okay, so it's gonna reach down, and it's gonna bite you.
Yeah, so if I can do it, I just slam that thing down at my feet and just embrace the flames.
Okay, let's see. So I think what'll happen is like we'll do one of those. You smash it down, and it's stomping right on top of you, and we'll see if it gets the bite off before it dies. Because as its head kind of comes down, the flames kick up. I'm gonna roll at like a minus because the fire's gonna start kicking in. It'll get the bite off. You'll take 3 points of damage.
So I have an action that I could use to avoid it, but I'm going to choose not to.
Okay, and so the mouth stomps down right as you smash it at your feet. The mouth collapses around you right as the fires explode upward, and you watch, all of you, as like this glistening white scales of this creature just suddenly start to darken as it lifts up. Gunnar is in its mouth as it's getting ready to kind of do that flip and swallow, and as it flips Gunnar, you see its whole body just turns gray and into ash, and then just falls down to the ground, and there's this long pile of just dust on the ground in its place. Couple things. Gunnar's laying on the ground. Gunnar, why don't you just roll a critical injury? Let's see what it's.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had one last thing to make me broken, so I'm sure it had a lot of damage behind that. So
It was like
let's see.
3 damage or something. Yeah.
So how do I roll again on the?
There is a roll table. If you go,
Find it.
it's the upper right. You can see it's right next to the journal, right next to the book.
Yep.
And there's a
Critical injury table.
And there'll be a roll button at the bottom.
Okay. Roll.
Okay. And it makes sense because it just chomped right down right over top of your
Oh,
head.
It's my other eye. I'm completely blind now.
Oh, this is so good.
That's awesome.
So great. So great. And all of you watch as like Gunnar just sort of spins and falls down, blood coming down from his eye, his only good eye, as Hildegard's right next to them. Okay. However, the other thing that happens is you all hear this shout, this like as coming up out of like behind Hildegard. You all notice how there's, hang on, let me get it up. Why is it not doing that right? You see this smaller version of this creature pop up through the fire in the north behind Hildegard, behind Gunnar. Despite the fact that this large lindworm has fallen out, it seems at least one of these eggs has hatched as a much smaller. This is probably like the size of maybe a crocodile. Comes slithering up and is like shouting, and it has eyes for Hildegard and for Gunnar. And so the combat will continue. It'll be Sigrid's turn.
Well, I don't even see that happen because I'm all the way over here in the corner.
I'm gonna go ahead and delete that from the screen so it's not in the way. Okay. All right. But you would hear it. You would have heard it. You would have heard the screech.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Ugh. Yeah, I'm just gonna come over like here just so I can see what's going on.
Okay, well, you come over there and you can see that Anders is bleeding to death. You can see his head is crushed and broken. There's a giant pool of blood on the ground around him. You look over, you can see Bensly as well is not in great condition. And also Gunnar is laying on the ground.
I don't know that I'm going to be successful, but I'm going to give it a whirl for a medicine check.
Okay, you're going to try to just stop
Yeah,
the...
I get 1 dice.
Okay, go for it. If this...
No.
You want to push?
No.
Okay. All right.
I tried.
If anybody in the chat wants to throw out, now would be a good time. But if not...
Oh, we do have actually a push. Like a free push from
Okay.
earlier.
Go
Did
ahead.
you
We
use
do,
that,
yeah.
Jeremy?
No, we didn't.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
I don't know if this is the wisest time to use it.
It's a free push. Like, so the idea is like you go ahead and push. It's fine.
All right.
I think that's the idea. Like push without penalties,
Oh.
what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, hey, it doesn't hurt
Okay.
to try.
So Sigrid, he's so I got Anders on 3 rounds, but you cannot be other people can attempt, but you can't.
Yeah.
All right. So then it's going to be poor Olaf's turn. Hildegard will go next. She'll look over at Gunnar, who just fell. She'll look at this other Lindworm that just appeared. She'll take out one of her hand axes off her belt and just sort of chuck it and sort of taunt it again. It's kind of like the same thing she did before. I'll roll 6 die. She'll hit the thing, and you'll see this.
Wow.
This axe just buries deep into the rear chest of this small little Lindworm, and then she'll move southward towards one of the other fires. Rubetega, what do you want to do?
Well, at this point, I'll probably pick that torch back up.
Okay.
I can only move kind of within in this space up here, correct?
Yeah, you can move up to the ledge.
Yeah.
Right? I think you can kind of get to there because the yeah, you're good. I mean, and you could, because there's fire all in on the cave. You have great vision of everything, including this small creature that's just come up, and it's right next to another fire, and you can see it's already been covered in fire. It's got a hatchet sticking out of it. It's there's a big old pile of ash in the ground, and Gunnar is there as well. So what would you like to do? If you got a slow action still.
The trick would be either can I try and get my torch placed up here, or would I be better off just shooting it?
It's up to you. I would say if you want to do the torch thing, just roll like you're trying to place it specifically. Yeah, roll a ranged attack.
Just somewhere in this vicinity. Okay, I wasn't sure if I'd have the range to throw it that far or not, since that's a zone away or two.
Nah, it's fine. Roll a ranged attack.
Let's see what happens.
So range combat would be good. Yeah. And it lands just on the other side, out of range of Gunnar, and you can see that it there's a little bit of a spark as the kind of the sulfur, like remember there's that little sulfur smell as the flames are a little bit stronger in here and kind of catches on to whatever kind of substance is lining the ground. It just kind of kicks up just a little bit more. And so we now have another, I'll go ahead and put another one right there. As another fire has erupted. Perfect. Then it will be the Lindworm's turn, and it's going to move through that fire that you just laid. And then it's going to rear up, and it's going to spit at Hildegard.
Cover your eyes.
All right.
All the creatures in this game seems to go for people's eyes.
Unsuccessful. And so Hildegard is able to dodge out of the way. All right. So then it is Caius' turn. You see Sigrid is trying to administer first aid to Anders.
Mm-hmm.
You see Gunnar's laying on the ground. There's a smaller version of one of these Lindworms right next to him, chasing after Hildegard. Rubetega's just thrown something on the ground. What do you want to do?
I mean, Anders looks to be slipping fast. I'm going to try and help him. I'm not very good at this.
Okay.
But
Just pretend it's Dogmore.
Oh,
Nope.
wow. Do you want to push?
no,
Okay.
I can't without being, yeah.
Okay.
You
All right.
didn't
so-
believe it was Dogmore enough.
All right. Next
Yeah.
up, Bensly shouts out, does something. Gunner, do you shout out anything?
Actually, yeah, Gunnar will continue his chanting with praise no sword till it's tested. And he wants to take his silver dagger, just hold it in his palm, blade up, so that if he's swallowed, he'll go down fighting.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. All right. Anders, you shouting out anything?
No.
All right. Sigrid, you're up.
Got 2 rounds left.
Yeah.
Can I try to go over into this fire over by Bensly and try to light a torch?
It's in your zone? Sure, yeah.
Okay. But I don't know that I'd be able to. Can I throw it over this thing?
That thing?
Yeah.
I'll say if you're trying, you can try to land it in Hilda's zone, we'll say. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to I'm trying to make sure that the fires are separate enough to really count. I don't want to cheapen the
No,
rules a little
yeah,
too
sure.
much.
Yeah.
I'll say roll range combat, but negative modifier per 2 if you're trying to launch it over. And
Okay.
land it.
What I'll do then is I'll just come over here. I will kind of get the torch.
Okay.
And then I'll just wait until next round so that I can be a little better because I feel real bad about getting Bensly on fire the first time.
Okay. Hildegard will go next, and she will kind of run backwards into a little alcove behind the next fire. Rubetega, you're up, man.
Boy, I feel like the appropriate thing to do is come down here and make another pass at Anders.
Okay, go for it.
Of course, I just closed my sheet somehow. So 1 second here. And it's inspiration.
No, this is
Okay.
medicine.
Medicine. Oh, good. That I'm.
Oh God, do you want to push?
I'd be broken also.
Okay.
I mean, I guess
God.
broken isn't dying in 2 rounds, I suppose.
It's not.
To peer pressure you to do something I didn't do. I'm just saying.
That's the 3 people who aren't broken who've tried to heal me and failed.
Yeah.
I know.
All of our grand total of 3 dice.
The only hope is an NPC at this point, right?
Yeah.
Or somebody gets Bensly up, and then Bensly goes and gets you up or something. Oh boy,
Oh,
you did it!
wow.
Whoa.
Clutch.
You did it. Okay, I'm gonna put Dan is now also on my shit list.
Merry
Wrote his name
Christmas.
down. Okay. Dan will in fact die
It
in the end.
is.
All right. So will Jeremy. All right. So yeah, you managed to get down there and shake him a little bit, like you're not gonna die, and his head kind of moves around a bit because you're shaking him. And
what about Wilson or whatever?
and then the Linverm will go next. I don't know. There's closer meat now. Do they go after Rubetega? Let's find out. 456 goes after Rubetega. Nope, they're gonna keep charging after Hilda, and as they do, they will crawl across the fire, turn to ash, and just collapse into the ground. You listen for the sounds of more screeching, and you don't hear anything. So, go
How
ahead.
many eggs did we see?
Like 3, I believe. That's what you saw. And you know that this one crawled up out of the northern hole.
You able-bodied folks should take some more fire over there and check it out.
Well, there's Bensly and Gunnar to maybe try and pick.
Yeah.
That's a good point. To just in case.
Okay.
By able-bodied, it means 3 and not broken.
Okay.
Okay. Caius, you go
Yep.
down.
See, I'll drop down whatever is left over the flash powder,
Okay.
whatever's flammable left of the cooking kit, and
You crawl down, and it's about a 30-foot climb down. It's not a difficult climb. It's a very tight tight tunnel that goes down, and you plop down into it's a normal cave. It's not like you don't see any signs of decoration or adornment. It just looks like a regular old cave. It's got the same kind of scent, the same kind of flickering greenish light in the and you can see that there are signs of recent feeding on looks like animals of some kind. You see that there is this semi-glowing and pulsating egg that's giving off some light. When you get up to it, you notice there's also the signs of some kind of broken shell on the ground. And that's it. You don't see the other one. You also don't see signs of a third shell, like a broken shell. What do you want to do?
Since I knew where it was, would I have been able to grab my silver bullet on my way there?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll load it up and shoot the egg.
Okay. Can you roll I want you to roll an empathy test here. As a recent father who's got this half Vaesen child who this is just another creature, misunderstood though it might be. Roll an empathy test.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pull on that rule from Alien that.
I see. I can just roll the stat
empathy
itself.
Yeah, just roll empathy.
Okay. Did it go? I don't think it did. Let me try again.
Considered a success and what's considered a failure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was looking for a success. You kind of swallow down this sudden guilt. You have a little flash of some random villager showing up at the doorstep to your home as your wife and you and your half Vaesen child are playing there, and then you pull the trigger, and when you guys see him next, he's probably going to be weeping and such. What else do you want to do down here before you go back up? As this thing explodes and you're confident that this is it. But there's also, you knew there were 3. And you only see 1 broken and now 1 destroyed.
Okay. I'm going to go up. Well, there. I got the second egg. The third one's not there. I want to go home.
Okay.
Sigrid will say, "Oh, bless you for doing that," and look for a different hole to go investigate.
Okay. And I'll say you go down a couple of these other holes, and they kind of all lead to the same chamber below, and you don't find any other eggs. You do, however, find a small cave that leads out towards the stream and out the other side. So you find another way in and out of this particular underground chamber. Go ahead and roll an investigation test, Sigrid, as you're looking around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can push that.
Go ahead. Oh, this you'll push, but you won't push.
But
wait, investigation and medicine. Oh, wait, is medicine's precision, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I didn't push.
All right, go ahead and push.
All
right. Yeah. You see on the ground. You see looks like tracks. Like somebody else was here, but it's kind of muddy and with the stream, you can't quite tell anything more than you think somebody else was here. But there's really nothing else that catches your eye.
I personally have a suspicion that I can.
We'll say this to make it easier. All of you eventually start moving up, back up to the church, where Sister Emily has made you sandwiches, and she sees you all coming up again from below. Gunner's missing a second. Oh yeah, go ahead, Rubetega. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I did want to take this opportunity to come up with a scheme.
Oh, okay.
We slayed the sisters.
Okay. You're gonna try to make that's gonna be the lie that you killed them?
Yeah.
Okay.
The sisters.
And they turned to ash like vampires, basically.
So
and
glad I'm
returned
broken
to
for this lie.
Pretty sure Gunner's dead by the time that happens. He had an hour.
In an hour? Well, I mean, like everyone else could have taken a shot. So if anybody wants to take a shot at Bensly or Gunnar.
Yeah. The immediate thing was just trying to make sure that there wasn't another.
Okay.
Just my scheming is that the sisters returned to the ritual site and we killed them, and if somebody wanted to look, they can see the piles of ash from when they died.
Okay. Does anyone else try to take a
They're
shot?
supposed to get a critical injury from getting broken.
I don't for some
Not with
reason
fire.
I don't think you get it with fire, and so I'm gonna say you're okay.
I mean, I'm terrible at it, but I'll give it a go for.
I wasn't broken.
I tried once each for Gunnar and Bensly and failed on both.
Okay.
Okay, I failed for Gunnar.
Undone.
Try for Bensly.
Gonna be,
Oh my
That
gosh.
way it's quite a
it's gonna
lot.
be a whole
God.
new party next session.
Okay.
Does Hildy want to try?
Sure. Let's see how many I give her.
Or Wilford?
Can I
She doesn't have any.
can I bless Hildegard
Okay. She's got
So-
4. I'm using 4 dice. So what does blessed do?
+2?
All right. So
plus 2.
she'll get 6 dice. This is for Gunnar. Gunnar is
Ooh.
alive,
Ooh.
and then she doesn't get the +2 for getting up Bensly, right?
No, it's just for one roll.
Okay. Well, Bensly's not going to die. He's just out now, and she can't. So Bensly will come to. And so let's sort of start to montage this a little bit then. So you all eventually get up out of the church. Although you've saved Gunnar's life, he has no eyes left. Do
you get to roll to see if that's a permanent thing?
Yes, you do actually. Good
Yeah.
call. We'll do that at the very end, whether or not that's permanent. As right now, though, he's completely covered. He can't see. So someone else is leading him by the hand as he is completely wrapped up. Sister Emily had these sandwiches ready. Then she sees what everything happened to you all and is immediately concerned. Over the course of the
Now might be the time to take the stuff if she's distracted.
Oh yeah, it's easy. That would be probably easily enough to do if she's like running around trying to help people.
Yeah, the witches stole it on the way down where they were turned to ash.
They don't know what the trinkets are, so
It went for his other eye, the monsters.
So let me get this. I just want to make sure I have the story straight. The sisters came here. You fought them in the cave, killed them. They turned to ash because they're witches, and in the process, Gunnar got lost an eye, or got a terrible eye, and Anders had his head crunched a bit. Is that right?
Yeah, they tried to eat us.
Okay.
They did.
Who wants to roll that bullshit manipulation test for Captain
Like I
Davidson?
said, so glad I'm broken.
I don't suffer any penalties.
I
And I have 10
I can do it
dice.
too.
I can roll 10 dice with no penalties.
I'll say this.
Okay.
Oh, you go right ahead.
Okay,
I,
so
I
this
can't
is
roll higher than
what
10.
I'm going to say though is if Caius does it, there's going to be a penalty because he was caught in a lie previously with Captain Davidson, and so I feel like Captain Davidson's inclined not to believe Caius.
no.
If Gunnar
How
wants to
many-
do it, I won't say there's a penalty for Gunnar. So I don't know
Okay.
which one's better. So it depends on how you all want to handle that.
I've got 6 dice for manipulation.
I have 0.
I'm going to say a minus 2 mod for Caius if he tries to make the call.
Yeah.
What do you
I'm
have?
on.
Still 8 dice.
Yeah.
Still 8.
Yeah, still 8. I've got 6. So
Okay.
yeah.
I'll say Gunnar and Sigrid can basically cancel out the modifiers.
Counteract it.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll tell our stories. Their
Yeah.
mouths open wide like a snake.
It didn't even make sense. It was like there were snakes because like maybe there's like some sort of satanic stuff, like the snake with the apple and like Satan, and they turned into snakes and they opened their mouth and it put its head around his head, its mouth around his head, the thing and the eye, and oh my god, poor head.
Go ahead
I'll-
and roll that shit. Go
With
ahead,
my
Anders.
new head injury, I'll help out with this conversation too. I have a bug in my pocket that I spit on.
Captain Davidson looks to you and says, "Don't we all?" Anyway, what were y'all saying? Go ahead, guys, roll it.
Okay,
So
so
I think
they
it's
even
10.
out my.
I think it's 10. I'll give you +1 because that was funny from Chuck.
Okay, I didn't roll with the +1, but I did get 1.
Okay.
I rolled it before I added in Chuck's.
You get the sense that he doesn't fully believe everything you just said, but at this point, I think he's kind of resigned. Maybe it's just best we just move on from this at this point. Maybe y'all just go ahead and head back to Oopsla. That while we here just go ahead and try to figure things out. I think that might be best.
I'll just look at his gun the entire time that I slowly back away.
Mm-hmm. He pulls it out. No, he doesn't. Okay.
I drop to the ground in a cowardly cackle.
Okay. All right. So. All right.
So we're just gonna have to make note of those tablets being down there and.
Oh yeah, you could probably
pencil that away.
We'll say you don't have to immediately leave. I think that would be cruel and the non-Christian thing to do. And these people are very much you have to at least do right by you all. And so you probably hang around for an extra day or so, healing up a bit over time.
What do they think about the fact that the door was broken open from the outside?
You might not have been able to tell how badly it was broken.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. And over the course of the next couple of days, there's a lot of different rumors and stories that begin to kind of to come up, and some of them are about how they got out. There must be somebody else that was helping them. One of them, and the general consensus, it was probably one of them. One of them hill folk who came down and broke them out. It's kind of what they're thinking. So there's that. You guys have been staying in the church, and it's kind of a long healing process. At a certain point, Anders, it's kind of late at night. You're going out to the outhouse, and there's the outhouse, and you go to open it, and the door's kind of stuck. And you pull on the door a little bit, and eventually it opens up, and you see a face that looks really familiar, and they just kind of had this big old grin, and in a very heavy German accent. Which I'm not very good at doing, says something along the lines of, I was keeping it warm for you, and just kind of grins a bit. And then you see him grin and kind of pat you on the cheek a little bit, and then starts wandering away, and then turns around at the last second and says, if you'll need help with the little creature in your pocket, there are people within my order who can help you with this. Yeah?
Yeah, I would gladly take you up on that, because it occasionally makes me go insane and beat my friends in the head with a chair, or gives me terrible dreams of hellfire and I wake up and my body is twisted.
Good. You will come back with us. Say goodbye to your friends and meet me. And he kind of directs you to meet me by the stables in the morning, and we will bring you with us. Yes?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And you can see, by the way, he's got a fairly large signet ring that has that little...
The eye.
Yeah. And he just kind of pats you on the shoulder. Be good. It will be fine, friend. It will be fine. And kind of starts to wander away.
So you thought he was talking about Vaesen. He was just introducing you to the kink club.
I'm the one who taught him how to keep seats warm, so...
I love the callback on that. That makes me so incredibly happy.
So on the train back...
And that
is there...
Go ahead,
sorry.
Caius.
We would want to make sure to thank Hildegard profusely for coming down, despite the fact she didn't, because she played a pretty big role in drawing them through fires.
Yeah. Olaf, by the way, is just beside himself. And
you did it, old man.
He's like, I'm going back to the university. I'm going to write up this entire story. I might try a bit of fiction, even. Old man in the dragon. No, that's not right. Old man in the... No, Old Man and the Dragon. We're working on it. We're drafting.
And I'll say on the train back, both Bensly and him are kind of going with you because he is an Uppsala alum. So they're traveling back. Hildegard, however, is not going with. But she says you owe her a favor, and she will call it in at some point. So be prepared for that. But Anders is not on that train. Anders, would you have said goodbye to everybody first?
Yeah, I probably would have gone through, and it was definitely an experience traveling with you all. But I had met a friend in the night who said he can cure me of this terrible bug. So I'm going to go
You
with.
were going to be studying the church with me. I thought that was our plan.
He gave me another option, which sounds more fun than devoting myself to the church for the rest of my life.
Oh,
No.
well, to each his own.
Yeah,
I
you know.
suppose.
Do strange men in the night often help you with your friend?
You know, no shame here, right?
No. I just couldn't help but say that.
So yeah. Anyway, thanks. Keep my books in good order in case I return.
And I think that'll end this mystery after that goodbye, and we'll have at least one new character next time. Let's roll for Gunnar to see whether or not Gunnar's injury retains itself. I'm trying to remember where I put the rules for that. One sec. So, yeah.
Do we all have to do that for any injuries we have?
Yeah. So, how many of you have injuries?
I do. I have two.
Okay.
I've got
two.
one.
Okay.
For once,
But I don't
have
sure
it.
Anders needs to roll.
Anders, don't worry about it. You don't
Yeah.
worry about it. You're somewhere else. right now.
Anders.
Aha.
Okay.
Sigrid blesses your journeys.
But yeah, mine would be somebody who would have a penalty should probably get the bonus from the bar. Mine would be to try and get a benefit. I think it's better to let the person who will get a negative, like the person who would be blind, should probably get the bar bonus.
Hmm.
I'm going to have gangrene and drooling, agility -1, and inspiration -1.
Oh,
Ooh.
goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I broke my jaw.
Oh man.
Oh, why I'm having trouble.
There's going to be a whole lot of people hanging out with Dogmore soon.
I forget, what is it we use to determine how much we roll? Is it?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. I've completely.
It was something like a combination of physique and precision or something.
I think that's
or-
what it is. I think it's like the two of them, just those things together. I'm trying to find it. Just keep talking about
Is it recovery rolls?
Yeah, it's recovery rolls. That's what I was like. What's that R word? That's what
The
it's
number
called?
of dice used for physical recovery is determined by adding the values of physique and precision together.
Okay.
For mental defects, you roll a number of dice equal to logic and empathy.
Okay. So then.
So
yeah, go ahead.
does Sigurd want the bonus? I'll give it to Sigurd if you.
Oh no,
if
you can
want.
have it. You're literally going to be sightless.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't stop playing him though.
Yeah, you
I'll
can have
take it. Okay.
I don't mind. You can play him blind too. There's no reason. I'd have no problem with that. It could be interesting.
Well, we'll see how it turns out.
All right. So who's taking it?
I'll take it.
Okay. So let's go.
The one extra die.
Yeah. So let's do these. All right. So let's do these one at a time. Gunnar, why don't you go ahead and go first? So add your physique and precision. You're just looking.
Can't tell.
All you need. It's you can click
There it
on the
is.
dice.
I made it. You have to have a 6 or a 5
You
or
have
a
to have a
6.
6. You have to have a 6.
I failed.
Okay. It is a permanent injury.
Yeah, I'm blind.
No.
He is missing both eyes. Okay. Then who's next? Sigrid.
So I rolled. So my first roll was for the first one, which is the bleeding wound.
There's only one roll. You only do one roll with this.
Oh, even if you have 2 injuries?
Even if you have 2, because it's the number of injury. It's the number of 6s that you get is what you can apply to. So.
I got 1 6.
For each, so you got 1 6 on your first roll. So for each 6, you can choose to either heal a defect or make an insight permanent.
Okay. I only had defects.
So you can choose which one you want to get rid of, and the other one becomes permanent.
Shame you couldn't keep
I
that
will.
set.
I will
That was
deal
a
with.
kick-ass roll the second time around.
Yeah, I will deal with gangrene and a reduction to my agility so that I'm not perma-drooling.
Okay.
Mm,
So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
okay. I'm
Uh,
trying to roll.
Caius.
Yeah, so I've got 66.
Oh, that's
Right.
a low roll. Oh boy, you got it. But that's 3 1s, a 4, a 2, and a 3. You failed.
That's okay. All that means is I didn't get a boon.
Okay, so you lost your insight. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
which would have been like a once per session bonus to shooting,
Okay.
which would have been ridiculous.
All right. So the other thing is that you all get to keep one item. Anders, would you have taken the horn, or would you have let them take the horn?
I would. Well, I don't know, because
It's up to you.
Rubetega took it.
Oh, Rubetega has it. Okay.
Yeah, he
All right.
grabbed it from the table.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, and if that's the case, then Rubetega can have it. Okay, so
Yeah.
you can keep one item, and if you choose to keep that, let me know, Dan, because there's something I can do. But you all can figure out what item you keep later. You don't have to necessarily do it now.
Got it.
Well, let's close down the session then, since this mystery is over. Let's get your. Actually, we got to do. We have to do
Both
points,
XP
right?
and yep.
Yeah, we got to do a couple more. So let's do. We'll say castle development stuff. So let's figure out how many points you have for your castle. Play at least one scene at the headquarters. Yup. Encounter a new type of Vaesen. Yes. Visit a place of magic. Yes. Subjected to magic. Was anyone subjected to magic? I don't think so, actually.
Was being spit on by acid being subjected to magic? No. that
Actually, I
just
actually
sucks.
never cast any spells with it, even though I did have two.
Dang.
Bring occult books or other important items back to HQ. That horn will suffice.
Oh, and the trinkets.
And yeah. And then make important contacts. I'll say yes. You've got Hildegard the troll. You've got Olaf the historian. Was the mystery particularly difficult and epic?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Twice.
Okay.
Say so.
And did you solve the mystery? Yes. So that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Up to
7.
9.
I got 7.
Well, we had 2 before, so
Oh, yeah, 2 before.
our grand
Okay.
total is now 9.
Okay, so you're at 7. So 7 from this time, so total of 9. And then player experience. Keep track of this yourselves. Participate. Yes. Confront any Vaesen. Yes. Identify a previously unknown Vaesen.
Not this
No,
episode.
no, because you got that last time. Were you affected by your dark secret, Caius? I'm gonna say yeah.
Does like a smaller version of Egrid count as a different one?
It's still a Lindworm.
Okay.
Anybody else dark secret this session? Yeah, I
Didn't
think so.
desert my friends this time.
Good job. Have you learned anything? If so, what?
Well, yeah, we learned how to kill lindworms.
How to kill a Lindworm. That works.
Good.
Okay.
We also learned the name of the order too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. Eyes of
And we know
God.
where
the name
there's
again?
some.
The eyes
Eyes
of
of God.
God.
You'll be good friends with them soon, Anders.
Probably.
He'll be running.
We're just
that
going to
shit
call
soon.
them toilet warmers.
Yeah, there's toilet warmer.
That's probably
Develop something. We'll say yes because you're going to get the points. You don't have to figure out what you're developing now, but you can go ahead and take the point for that. And then perform an extraordinary action. Gunner for sure. He immolated himself to kill the Lindworm. Anybody else want to make a case?
that's my push count.
Say, how many dice did you have? Like saving
One.
some? And you were successful in the push, right?
Yeah, but I broke myself to do it.
All right, take it. And Chuck, since you're rolling a new character, just take however much XP you would have gotten for Anders, and you can apply it to the next character. That's fine.
Okay, so that'd be All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's close down with some plugs, and then we'll get out of here. We're gonna do a new mystery in like 2 weeks. So, yeah, unless people, we'll have some new characters and such. So it'll be fun. So, Bert, where can I find your podcast?
Bluemagic.com is the Of Steam, Steel, and Murder podcast. And on Notorious DMG, running things every other week or so.
Awesome. Chuck, what's going on this week for Defenders?
Well, in general, tomorrow night on Notorious DMG TV, 4 of us here are playing Cyberpunk Red, ran by Matt, who
Yeah.
does the Free League Publishing Twitch. Wednesday night, Jeremy's running Spectaculars over on Defenders of Cobalt. And then Saturday on Goodman Games Official, we'll be doing part 2 of the Spheres of Music is Chaos. And that's what we got.
Perfect. And Jeremy, podcasting, your podcast again?
Sure. Plewdcast, PLEWD. Come on over.
Perfect. You're making some Vaesen from Arizona, Jorn? Okay, I want to hear about this. That would be great.
That sounds fun.
That does sound fun.
monstrosity.
Oh goodness. And then for us, for Lollygaggers, we don't really got anything planned for this week, other than just hanging out in some of the games that Chuck already mentioned. We might do like an impromptu thing Saturday afternoon, but don't hold us to that. But the big thing is next Monday, we'll be on our own channel, the twitch.tv/Lollygaggers playing Alien. So you can come check that out. But that's it. Thank you for those of you who hung out. Thank you for those of you who are watching this at a later date. Watch all these fine folks wherever you can find them. And we'll see you in a couple weeks with a new mystery. So good night, folks.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.